Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Let's talk this boxing this fine Thursday afternoon. What is this? Awesome. How are you guys doing this morning? Let's say what's up to everybody. Platinum Alkaline Water in the building. What's going on, sir? How you feeling? Valley, good morning. Kamal Oz said the whole boxing public is telling Crawford to fight Jaron Boots after Errol Spence rematch. Canelo and Jermell fights are pure fantasy at this point. They are. They're fantasy. They're fantasy. Fantasy. Those fights ain't popping off. Those fights ain't popping off, partner. Them fights ain't popping off, partner. They're called Bob Arum. Better call Bob Arum. You know what I mean? Better call Bob Arum. What's going on? Richard Paris in the building. What's going on? Said Fanon. Good morning. Blessings to everybody. Blessings to you, sir. Blessings. 00. Thank you, sir, for starting off Super Chat Thursdays. This is Thursday, isn't it? Yes, it is Thursday. Super Chat Thursday off with a bang. Thank you, brother, for your $2 holler. What's going on? He says, salute to you, OG. Keep doing great things. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep doing until I do. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Daryl Jackson in the building said there's no money in fighting. Booths have to make it stop. That's nonsense. Nobody trying to hear that stupid shit. Absolutely, positively, if there's fights in making it, there's money in making that fight. That's ridiculous. All things, what's going on? HMC3, what's good? Like, man, please. There's money to be made in that fight, man. I'm trying to hear it. And who cares? Okay? And I want to know, are you getting paid? Stop making excuses. I don't like that excuses stuff, huh? Hey, stop making excuses. What's going on? Rocco McBride in the building. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Hope your gym's doing well. Hope everything is crackling over there. Man, I'm chilling. About to talk this boxing this morning and try to do my part to get these great fights made. You know what it is? Keep the conversation going. They don't want it. They may not like it, but it is what it is. You know? Give me 1 second. There you go. All righty. LR in the building. What's going on, LR? Much love on the Super Chat Thursday. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that support. Appreciate you. Thank you for the sponsorship of the channel. Yeah, Rocco, doing well, man. I can't complain. Barbara D's sister, good morning. My man, Expensive Paper, Bomb Squad. Dog, y'all out here ripping that man up on them juices, juicing. Aisha in the building. What's going on? Damian Cooley. What's going on? DH say good morning, God. Good morning, Fanon. Blessings, my brother. Good morning. Blessing, chat. Blessings. Smash that like button, chat. Team Spence all day. Yes, sir. Omar Sayers, what's going on, man? Said Bud might actually make more money fighting Boots because the purse split will be more than 50-50 in his favor. Yeah, and he's going to be on the low side, versus those other dudes who ain't going to fight him. Who else are you going to fight? Who else? Because, dog, there ain't no other. That's it. I never implied anything. You just wanted to say the words. I know how to. You were clearing your throat. Steroids. I got you. You were clearing your throat, bro. I got you. I understand. 100 grand. I understand 100 grand. What is this? Okay. Where's Auntie Black Cherry? I ain't seen Auntie Black Cherry in a while, by the way. Just popped up again. So what's going on, Auntie Black Cherry? Hope you're doing well. So look, man, we're going to wait till some people come in the chat, and then we're going to talk about it. Because y'all going to run around, want to call Jermell Charlo a coward. Aisha, thank you, sister, said for Super Chat Thursdays. Thank you, sister. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Look, let me sip my coffee while we wait for somebody to come in here and get mad. Those fights are not available for Terence Crawford. Ennis and Crawford. If Errol, first of all, I got to get past Errol Spence Jr. I'm not counting out Errol Spence Jr. in a rematch because I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like counting him out. That fight is a real fight that's got to take place. So, that said, let's get it crackling. What's going on? Bo said, brother, I'm late, but I'm here. Hey, man, you right on time, sir. You right on time. Yeah, you are. You're right on time. Don't think you're not. You're right on time. Yeah, I know. I think Errol's going to be in a lot better situation in the rematch, and it'll be a better fight. I am. I hope. Hey, man, I'm certainly, man. All my positive energy goes to Errol Spence Jr. and getting Errol Spence Jr. body, mind straight. Derek James still in the ring with him, with good sparring partners. I want to see the good sparring partners. Just body weight feeling good, all of that. No Keith Thurman, Daryl Jackson, stop hiding. Why you hiding Terence Crawford from Jaron? Why you want somebody that's not fought one time in 3 years? No, thank you, man. Keith Thurman has not fought, and Keith Thurman has not fought since before Errol Spence Jr. fought him. Barbara D in the building. He's inactive, so no. No. How about that? When was the last time? Why you want him to fight Keith Thurman? When Keith Thurman has not fought in a very long time. Mario Barrios will have fought twice since Keith Thurman fought. Keith Thurman is not active enough. No, I don't want to see it. Expensive Paper said, to this day, much love, brother. Thank you for the support on Super Chat Thursdays on the Cash App. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man, with the greatness. Jerry Rice said, I respect the way you never count Spence out like the rest of the folk do. Nah, man, I like Errol, man. Hey, dude, I like Errol Spence. Errol Spence Jr. is a good dude. And I think something was wrong with him in that fight. I do. Whether or not that means he's going to win the next fight, that's something else. However, man, look, I like Errol Spence, man. I like Errol Spence very much. I like his family. I like his team. I like the whole thing. I did a video yesterday that I didn't want to do where I talked about the possibility of him replacing Derek James and what bringing a new person onto the team added to Jermell Charlo and all of that. Mamu, I'm not interested in that, man. Sorry, we're going to stick to the subject, brother. We got to stick to the subject. I don't think anything about it. Usyk whooped Dubois behind. That's it. Usyk whooped Dubois behind. I don't know why he didn't take the Ugas fight. He's looking for a championship shot. He wants to fight for the title. Clearly, he wants to fight for the title. If he was going to be able to fight for the title, he probably would have taken it. He said he wants a big money fight or he wants to fight for a title. That's what he said. I'll take him at his word. I'll just take him at his word that that's what he wanted. Isn't that what you would want to if you were he? When you want that? It's going to be 3 minutes in October for women's boxing. Proud of you, girls. No, it's just one. Actually, Expensive Paper. It's only one fight, and the WBC is not sanctioning it because it's 3-minute rounds. So I took to Twitter today to call the WBC sexist. That's ridiculous, man. You should let those ladies fight 3 minutes. Give that sport a chance to grow. Please put your sexist ass down. If they can punch each other in the face for 2 minutes, they can punch themselves in the face for 3 minutes. Please. You're letting all these people slide with steroids, and you won't let a woman fight 3 minutes in 12-minute rounds just to be funny acting. Nah, man, I'm not good for that. I'm not good with that. I think they should have, first of all, I like women's. I've always been a fan of women's boxing. I'm always been a fan of women's boxing. And women boxing need to be just like men's boxing. 3-minute rounds, 12 championship rounds. Period. Good for you, Fanon. Proud you put the WBC on blast. Yeah, man, they're coming off real sexist for that. That's sexist right there. And don't give me this, well, we don't know the effect of the distance on the women's brain. Dog. You know the effect of it on women's brains. It's the same effect as it is on men's. Cut that down to 2 minutes. You're not cutting that down to 2 minutes. What do you mean? Well, it's much more difficult because of their frame. They're getting hit by women. I actually agree, man. Get out of here, Fahim. Get out of here, Fahim. That's sexist. They want to fight 3 minutes. They can fight 3 minutes. Get out of here. It may save their brain because somebody's going to get knocked out. Because they're going to take less punishment. Somebody's going to get up. Somebody's going to get up out of there. Brandon Harrison, big bro, I don't always agree with you, but you're honest. Thanks, man. That's all I can ask. That's all I can do is be honest. I'm going to be honest. I see something. Yeah, her next fight, but the WBC said they're not sanctioning it. They're not going to sanction the fight. So she said she'll be back. So she said she'll be back in the next one, doing it on the next one. What's going on, Asante L? I'm good, man. I can't complain about a thing. For all that, let the GWOAT fight Keith Thurman. If she want to, go okay. And throw Keith Thurman in there with a bear. Let's just act all kind of ridiculous. Hey, if you care about men's brains, then cut it down. Why not cut it down to 1 minute round and we can play patty cake? How about no head punches and we do patty cake? How about that? And then we don't have to worry about anybody's brain. How about we just scrap boxing? How about we just play paddleball? If you just want to go all the way there. What's going on, AKA Big Texas, the winning team? Dude, you can't box in a bikini. Something will come out in the middle of the fight. For 9, they need to make 3-minute rounds for women, like they need to switch the rim to 9 for women. More people would watch if a person would dunk on somebody. Nah, they don't need to change to 9 women. 9, man. Dude, look. Women's boxing, man, I like women's boxing. All right? Women's boxing is like women's tennis. Women's boxing is like women's tennis. It's good. Women's basketball is good too. You're just not going to get all that. You're just not going to get all the dunking and all of that stuff, but you don't need dunks. They're not going to be doing 360s and all of that stuff. That's what you got women's gymnastics for. Who watches men's gymnastics? There are certain sports that women have that are just really good. Women's tennis can stand on its own and will do very, very well on its own. Women's boxing will do very, very well on its own, but you're going to have to lengthen it out so you can get some knockouts. You need a little bit more ass whooping in women's boxing. You need it. Okay? Nah, don't lower the rim. That's going to screw everything up. And plus, it's going to mess everything up all over the place. You know how expensive that would be for amateur basketball? They already got a different size ball, and that's, you can buy a new ball, but you're going to buy new rims everywhere you go? How girls going to train for that and go to a gym and train if they got to lower the rim to 9 feet in order to play? Nah, man. It's okay. I'm all right. Cooking with Frank, what's up, man? I'm all right with all of that. I but first of all, but women's basketball, I appreciate the sport of women's basketball. But they're ruining men's basketball. So whatever. Women's boxing ain't no worse than men's basketball. All that dunking ain't making me watch no basketball games. Big deal. We got it now. Oh, you can dunk a basketball. Big deal. No, we do not need more ASS in women's boxing. They all have one. I don't look at women's boxing as some sexual thing. Oh, fuck. Excuse my language. Hold on. Oh no, I didn't screw this up. I know I did it right today. I know I did it right today, but hold on one second. I'm gonna make sure I did it right today. I did it right today. Okay, cool. Yeah, it means more people are gonna get checked up out of there. More people are gonna get checked up out of there with body shots. And it gets rid of all that Katie Taylorism in boxing. I don't like man, don't hold women's, you ain't gotta hold these ladies' hands. They can fight. Anyway, get some more defense. There you go. Learn to slip. Gotta learn to duck it. Hey man, bob and weave, man. Bob and weave. Thank you, sister, for that support in the super chat. Hey, look, hey, I like women's track and boxing. Yeah, exactly. Women's track is the women's track has always been nice. Women's track and field is nice. The only thing messing up for me with women's track and field is the daggone distances. Because they started, man, will you please put it back in feet? Will you please start telling people how far somebody's jumping? 8.1 does not register to me. 8.13 does not register to me. God, dog, once American telecasters stop giving it in feet, man, give it in feet and inches. You're driving me nuts. Like, please give me the distance. Give me the distance. Oh, it's an 8-1. It's a 7-1-9. Man, how far is that? 26'5" and a what? Oh, tennis is the best. Tennis is great. Anyway. But women's college basketball does not lose money. Doesn't lose money. And it doesn't lose money overseas. But whatever's clever, man. Whatever's clever. And plus, the men's basketball season is so long. But let's get back on this topic, Matt, the subject matter at hand, man. Look, it doesn't look like Terence Crawford is going to get out this Jaron Ennis fight unless he retires. It just doesn't look like hey, dude, it's going to be a bad look if you don't fight that kid. Because it doesn't look like they're going to get that dude a fight, man. It doesn't look like that dude is going to get a fight. A big fight. I'm telling you, it doesn't look like it. I don't know why I don't know why, but it is absolutely positively looking like that. Because you got every fight that he wants is not going to happen for him. None of the guys that he wants to fight want to fight him. And there's not some gigantic overarching reason to do so. And I'm also going to tell you something too. These dudes probably don't even want to negotiate with him. They probably don't even want to deal with him. Blackball Bud. It's not black. I don't think it's not going to be a blackball. Those guys over there get to fight whoever they want to. They get to fight who they want to fight. He hasn't gotten the Andrade treatment yet, but I think he's going to get the Andrade treatment. I think he's going to get the Andrade treatment. They're not going to want to fight because the three guys that he said he wants to fight, none of them want to fight him. And here's the thing. It makes sense for them to say that they don't want to fight him. It makes sense for them to say they don't want to fight him. I'm telling you, Bud tied himself in a knot. What did he say? Oh, I know, Kaz, Ramon. I know you're joking. I saw that. If you were trying to hate on me, you would have said something. You probably would have said something different. I know what you're talking about. Look, man. No, I'm not saying Bud don't want to smoke. Bud wants to smoke with these other dudes, but these dudes don't want to smoke. Look, here's the thing, man. I'm telling you. This is what I see. It doesn't make any sense to say that you want to fight Terence Crawford. It makes sense to tell you that you don't want to fight him, even if you do. I don't want to fight him unless you're Jaron Ennis. It makes sense to tell him that, no, I don't want to fight you. No, I don't. I don't care about that fight. No, I don't care. And just take whatever backlash you get from the 5 or 10 real Bud fans out there that will tell you that you're ducking. Because similar to what happened with similar to what took place in that's not the boogeyman effect at all. It's on. Terence Crawford brought it on himself effect. It's the look. It's the you want to be a businessman. You showed how to be a businessman, and now people are going to probably follow your lead. You can't tell Terence you want to fight him. He's going to take everything out of your pocket. Jerry Rice, that's a silly question. No and no. No and no. No and no. Why would you add? Look, man, come on, man. No and no. I cannot. I'm not going to beat Clarissa Shields in the sparring session, and I'm not beating Brittany Griner in the game of one-on-one. No and double no. No, I'm not. Not sure why you want an answer to that obvious answer to that question. No, I'm not. Absolutely not. Would not, or Alyssa Bumgardner either, or probably any professional women's basketball player. Not going to beat them on one-on-one, especially somebody six inches taller than I am. No. Anyway, but no, seriously, man. The problem with Terence Crawford is this is the problem with Terence Crawford. Number one, Canelo is not going to negotiate with him at all. And there's really nothing in it for Terence Crawford. There's nothing in it for Canelo Alvarez. It's a lose-lose for Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is in the same situation with Terence Crawford that Terence Crawford says he's in with Jaron Ennis. You say it's a lose-lose. If he loses, he loses. If he wins, the guy was too small. And he's not going to get any extra money for doing it. So why would Terence Crawford do it? There's nothing in it for Terence Crawford. So while you guys are running, what's going on, OKC King? So when you guys are running around talking about there's nothing in it for Boots, nothing in it for Terence Crawford to fight Jaron Ennis, remember, you're just supporting an argument that there's nothing in it for Canelo to fight Terence Crawford. Okay? Nothing in it for him to do that. Yeah, make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Or support the channel on Super Chat Thursday. It would be appreciated. So either way it goes, you're tying yourself into that. Oh, thank you, Chuck Weaver. Let me clarify. I'm talking about Jaron Ennis being the boogeyman to those who don't want to fight him and their promoters and managers. Yes, sir. He is. I agree with that 100%. I thought you're talking about Terence Crawford being a boogeyman to the other guys that he wants to fight, none of which are in a weight class anywhere near him. But no, both are not true. There's something for Terence Crawford in the Jaron Ennis fight. It's called the only big fight you're going to get. Other than Errol Spence Jr. rematch, that's the only one he's going to get. What's going on to Donald now? 68-year-old G Grant in the building. What's going on, sir? How are you, sir? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope life is blessing you out there. What's in it is a good fight for us and money for them. Yeah, he's good. Look, it's a fight that Showtime said that they'd be interested in making. Other than that, Terence doesn't even have a network. Think about it. Terence doesn't have a network. He's a free agent, right? After the Errol Spence Jr. rematch, if he wins it. So was he going to go to DAZN? What's over there at DAZN? Nothing. Going to go to ESPN? No. Triple dipple, nothing. You guys gotta look how this goes. It's Jaron Ennis, man. It's Jaron Ennis, and it's the only fight people are actively calling for. What's going on, Nate Dogg 86 in the building? How you feeling, brother? It's the only fight that people are actively calling for. He's high reward. I don't need to hear it, man. So what? He'll get his shot. Yeah, he'll get his shot, all right. Terence Crawford. He'll get it. He'll get it. Terence Crawford. Hold on one second. No need to wait. Dude, that. Hold on a second. People calling for Bud Charlo way more than Boots. That's not. No, it's not. No, they're not. No, they're not. And Charlo's not going to fight him. Charlo said fight Jaron Ennis. So go ahead. If he wants to get the fight Jaron Ennis then. E-money bags. That's what Jermell Charlo's told Jaron and told Terence Crawford to fight Jaron Ennis. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. What's good? Antonio Brown in the building. Thank you, brother. Said a for 9. If Gary Russell Jr. moves up to lightweight, how do you see him ranking compared to the top fighters in that division? In the top 5. Top 5, top 6. Depends on whether or not he can handle the size. Depends on whether or not he can handle the size. I like him at 130 better than 135. I think at 130, he's the top 3 at 130. But I don't know, man. I'm going to have to see him. But I like it. I like it. I like that fight. I want to see that fight really much. I want to see him at 135. I just want to see him back, honestly. Antonio Brown, thank you, brother, for the support, bro. Every interview he do, they ask about Bud from the door. Every interview he does, they ask about Jaron Ennis too. Who is they? That's some dog. Let me tell you, man. E-money bags. Dog, E-money bags. They don't count. I don't care what somebody asks him. He gets asked about Jaron Ennis all the time as well. And Charlo already said, no, he's not going to get pushed to make that fight, bro. Pushed by who? How they go? Who's going to push him? Who's going to push him? Who's going to push him? He ain't got to. Can't nobody push Jermell Charlo to do anything Jermell Charlo don't want to do. Jermell Charlo's with the PBC. Jermell Charlo does not have to fight Terence Crawford. And Jermell said, fight Jaron Ennis. I don't know why you trying to hide, man. Why are you trying to hide? Hey, thank you, sir, for that support, man. Thank you for sponsoring the video. It means a lot, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for sponsoring the video. It means a ton. Bud's best bet financially is for Errol to conjure up a way to win so he can have a big church. Yeah, no doubt. Hey, look, man, I'm just telling you, okay, dude, he ain't got, what's he going to do to force him? I need to know this one. I want to know why y'all don't want to see this great fight with Jaron Ennis, man. I need Jaron Ennis to get his shot. Okay? We don't need this We don't need what to happen to Errol Spence to happen to Jaron Ennis and have to hear a bunch of excuses and reasons for why guys can't fight him. All right? This crap right here is nothing different than what happened to Errol Spence Jr. Nothing different. Okay? If Errol Spence Jr. if these dudes would not have ducked Errol Spence would have been able to get to that dang undisputed. We would have been there 2 years ago. Okay? We would have been there a long time ago, man. A long time ago. If they would have just fought the guy. But you guys got all kind of reason for a guy who's the undisputed champion in a division to not fight guys in his own division. Terence Crawford is a 147-pound fighter. I know what Terence Crawford's reasons are. Those are his reasons. I don't care about his reasons. I care about I want to see this fight. Okay? And I want to see Jaron Ennis get in there with these big fighters, big name fighters sooner than later. Keith Thurman, if Errol continues to fight, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, Jermell Charlo. I want to see all these. I want to see these dudes start fighting these dudes, man. Stop trying to sit on these dudes, man, and sit around and eventually his day will come. Like what is this? How I get over all that? I don't need any church songs for this dude, man. About how one day, I have a dream. No Martin Luther King speeches. I got a dream that one day, way off in the distance, Jaron Ennis will get a fight with a big name fighter, but just not right now, and just not these people. I don't want to hear it, dog. I don't want to hear it. It's time to but more importantly, dude, he's gonna have to fight or retire, bro. He's gonna have to do it, dog, because they're not gonna fight. I don't believe they're gonna fight this dude. Somebody got to come up off of a lot of money. And for Jermell, you definitely gonna have to come up off a lot of money for Jermell. If you're gonna have to come up off a lot of money for Jermell and a lot of money for Canelo in a fight that ain't guaranteed to sell because Terence Crawford didn't add any real value, any extra value beyond what was expected for the Errol Terence Crawford fight. Tell me I'm lying. What's going on to my guy? Much love in that spank. Hey, Ryman Turner said Jaron will get stopped by Bud. We'll bring it on. Bring it on. Floyd was going to get knocked out by Manny Pacquiao because Manny Pacquiao was knocking out everybody. We'll see. None of those fights are happening, man. The only reason it's not happening because Terence Crawford's not making it happen. Big Dog Willie said, did you know Devin Haney bowled a perfect game, overhanded, arch? What is this? Ace? Ace the Rorschach test, mountain climbing, Mount Everest with his boxing shorts on, because Bill Haney said so. Man, there's daily hate for the Haneys, man. Right, what's up, man? What's going on, Leo Shang? Click the link. The answer, Terrell Howard, the answer is click the link. And I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. Click the link. Thank you very much. You have no idea what will happen with Jaron Ennis. You have no idea what will happen with Jaron Ennis. The answer to that question is, Terrell, is click the link. And I'll let you know how many he sold. I'll explain to you. I have no problem. I have no problem explaining that to you. None. Perfectly logical explanation that I have for that. Perfectly logical explanation that I have for that. Errol Spence is at 154. The Bud is not going back down. How do you then drop the belts? So drop the belts. Nah, don't shoot on sight anybody, man. Please don't. I want to hear the trolls, man. Come on, man. Give me some fun, man. I can't see the trolls if you block them on site. Please do not block people on site because I don't get any fun. I'll be sitting here looking at it and I don't get any fun. You guys take all the fun. The hate for Bud is over here is real. I want to see Bud make money. Where's the hate? Explain to me how I'm hating him by saying that I want to see him, that he's going to have to fight this guy. I think the ignorance for Bud is strong in you. That's what I think. I think denial and cornball shit. I think denial and cornball shit is strong in you. That's what I think. Okay, since we want to talk about the hate is real. No, it's not. There's no hate whatsoever for me. I'm just telling you the facts. I want to see good fights, man. I want to see good fights. Martin, I thought he dropped the boots. Was the belts? Is that a rumor? Yes, that's a rumor. He's dropped nothing. Yes, that's a rumor. Dude, people are trying to grab. Hey, look, man. Yes, that's a rumor. Huge rumor. Huge rumor. Absolutely, positively a huge rumor that he dropped the belts. Nowhere has he dropped the belts. King, how can I help you, dude? You're really overdoing it. How can I help you, man?
Good morning, man.
Good morning.
Yeah, if I'm overdoing it, man, I'll just leave it alone today. It's not a big deal.
Just
You have
what?
a good show.
What
No,
do you
bro, I
want to say,
don't,
man? You already clicked the link.
because I want to be saying stuff that's not gonna be, that's
Just
not
say
gonna.
it, man. Say it.
I think you're going overboard with this Jaron and Ennis stuff, bro. Like, it's not looking good on these streets, YouTube or Twitter, because you're just telling us that Bud needs to fight Boots, and then you're saying that Bud needs to offer up Jamel Charlo some money. So in one conversation, you're giving Boots a shot at Bud's, and in another conversation, you want uh, Bud Crawford to give Jermell Charlo a lot of money for Bud to fight him. I don't understand. Why don't you keep the same energy on both ends? Why don't you be like, Bud needs to fight Charlo as well, without saying they better offer up Charlo enough money? So why don't you say that for Crawford fighting Boots? They better give Crawford a lot of money to fight Boots. I don't get all that, bro.
That's because you don't want to get it. Because I never said that. But you don't want to get it.
I've been listening to your show for the last 20 minutes, so I
So
know what you.
you still don't get it.
I
You
don't
don't
understand this
understand. Well,
Boots stuff,
it's
bro.
very clear that you don't
I get
understand.
really riled up with you talking about Boots, and he deserves a shot at
You
Crawford.
don't understand what I'm saying. You got everything. You got all those points all muddled up and mixed up. You didn't get any of it. You don't understand. First of all, what I said was this. Canelo Alvarez said that Terence Crawford has not fought anybody and he gets nothing out of the fight. It's a lose-lose for him. That's what Canelo said. So that takes Canelo out of it. Do you understand that? I got to go slow with you. Do you understand that?
Come on, you don't do me like that. I didn't
I'm
take the
going to do
short.
you like that because I need to walk through every step so you understand. And once you understand, then we can talk. But as long as you have a misunderstanding, it doesn't make any sense to continue the conversation. So let me take this piece by piece. Hunter Young says social media rumor Spence is bringing Boots in to spar for Bud. Is that good or bad? First of all, that is something that started with Blood Boxing on this channel, and people ran with it all over the place. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you for your support, bro. Is it true? I have no idea. Is it a good or a bad thing? I think it's probably be a very good thing because it is definitely going to sharpen his ass up a lot. Now, thank you. Hey, thank you, Hunter Young. Thank you, Hunter Young. Thank you so much for your support and sponsoring the channel. So that is my question. Do you understand that Canelo Alvarez said that there's nothing in it for that fight with him? That if it's a lose-lose situation because if he beats him, they're going to say he's too small, and Terence Crawford has only had one good fight in his career.
Don't pick out one thing of what Canelo said.
I'm telling you, do you understand that is what I said?
He
about
said
Canelo.
that, but he said
So
stuff
you
afterwards.
understand that, dog. The only question is, do you understand it? I didn't ask if you agreed with it. I asked whether or not you understand that's what I said.
Now I do that you said
So
it
great.
now.
Now you understand what I said. Now let's move on to the next part. So we understand that you understand what I said. I'm not asking you if you agree with it. I'm asking if you understand what I said.
Now I do. What's your next
So
point?
thank you. You understand that. So let's move to point 2. Jermell Charlo said for Terence Crawford to fight Jaron Ennis, and that he is not fighting Terence Crawford at 154. If he fights him, the fight got to be at 160, but he wants him to fight Jermell Charlo first. Do you understand that that is what Jaron Ennis said? I mean, what Terence Crawford said.
Jaron Ennis?
Terence Crawford. I mean, do you understand that that's what Jermell Charlo said?
He said that. Oh, he needs to fight Boots. Leave us alone. All that scary
Did you
ass
hear?
talk.
So you heard that, right?
All that scary ass duck talking.
Nah, dude. Do you understand that? Do you
Yes, I
understand
heard.
that he said, "Leave me alone, fight Jaron Ennis"? Did you hear
Yeah,
that?
yep, I heard that talk.
Okay, so now we understand 2 things. We understand one, Canelo is saying he ain't interested. Jermell is implying that he's not interested. Let's go to the third person, Gervonta Davis. Have you heard Gervonta Davis say that he's not moving up to 147 to fight Terence Crawford?
Yes, I have heard him say that.
Oh,
Yes.
there you go. So now you understand those 3 things. Now,
Okay. How does this help me?
Excuse me. So
Sorry.
when I said that Terence Crawford would need to offer Jermell Charlo a lot of money to fight him, that's because it's true. Because Jermell Charlo doesn't think there's anything for him in the fight, and he wants him to fight Jermell. So how do you think he's going to get to fight him if he doesn't get paid a ton of money for it?
First of all, Terence Crawford is a way bigger star. Not just that, a pay-per-view star than Jermell Charlo will ever be. Let me make that clear first. Second of all, what else is Jermell Charlo going to do? Who else is he going to fight at the 154-pound division after Canelo Alvarez?
He's not going to be at 154 pounds.
He said he's coming back. You want to quote his words, right?
It doesn't matter who he's going to fight, because he says he doesn't care about fighting Terence. So he could retire. Who knows? But what he said was that he wants him to fight Jaron. He also said that he's not going to be having some long conversation with him. So about it. So since he said he's not going to fight him at 154, which means the belts are not on the line, he said he doesn't. He said, go fight Jaron Ennis first. Jermell Charlo said he doesn't want to fight him. You want to argue about whether or not Jermell Charlo should want to fight him or not. But you just acknowledge that Jermell Charlo says it basically acts like he doesn't want him.
That's what you're doing. You're arguing whether Crawford should fight Boots Ennis. That's what we're doing.
Terence Crawford is the undisputed champion at 147 pounds as of this moment. Jaron Ennis is at 147 pounds this moment. Keith Thurman has not had a fight in about 2 years. One fight in 2.5 years. Mario Barrios lost to Keith Thurman, and Sean and Ugas lost to Errol Spence. Stanionis is not a name at all, and nobody's asking for that fight. Since Terence Crawford is a 147-pound fighter, and Jaron Ennis says he wants to fight him, I want to see the fight at the weight class that Terence Crawford's in.
But Jermell Charlo
You're leading some long-ass conversation about him fighting guys that aren't even anywhere near his weight class. And Jermell Charlo is nowhere near Terence Crawford's weight class anymore, and said he doesn't want to fight him. Canelo Alvarez is nowhere near that man's weight class, and said there's nothing in it for him for fighting him. Gervonta Davis is nowhere near his weight class. So you want me to talk about him fighting guys that said they don't want to fight him, that are nowhere near his weight class instead of
When-
talking about the guy that wants to fight him in his own weight class?
When Jermell Charlo became undisputed, did you push for him to fight Carlos Adames, who was the boogeyman at 154 pounds?
He's at
Did you push that
160,
fight?
you moron.
He was at 154
He's
last
at
night.
he lost at 154, then he moved to 160.
Did you
years
push for him to
ago.
fight
Excuse me.
Tenzu and other guys?
Excuse me.
All the
That
other
has
big.
nothing to do with the topic. And on top of it, let's go back to Carlos Adames, who is at 160, not
What about
154.
Tenzu?
And he lost at 160. He lost at 154 years ago.
What about all the big guys at 154?
What does that
you
have
push
to do
for
with
that?
Jaron Ennis? What does that have to do with Jaron Ennis and Terence Crawford?
Because Crawford's undisputed and you're trying to throw somebody at him because you think he might be able to beat him. That's what you're doing. But
I'm
you
not
don't do that for other
throwing
fighters.
anybody at him because Jaron Ennis is this mandatory. I'm not throwing him at him. The IBF threw him at him. The IBF, he's the IBF mandatory for that shot.
The reality is that fight ain't happening, bro. No matter what you guys do.
That's not reality. That's your opinion.
It's not gonna happen. I'll put money
You
on
don't
it.
think so. You know why? And why isn't going to happen?
Because he brings nothing for Terence Crawford.
Why
Nobody
is it
knows.
not going to happen? Why is
Nobody knows that.
Because
Not
Terence
enough money.
Crawford's not going to take the fight. Look, dude, you've been dismissed, okay? You've been dismissed. Your silliness has been dismissed.
This is all subjective, bro.
Dude,
There's
no,
no
what you
dismissal.
said, there's nothing subjective about your blatant misunderstanding of what I said. Because the original
I'm
point
just
was,
fed up
do
with this
you
boots talk.
understand? The original point was, do you understand what I said? The answer to the question was, no, you didn't.
I'm just fed up with this boots talk, bro.
You can be.
do this every day.
You're not fed up. You're fake. You're not fed. You're not fed up. You're fake.
What you mean?
You didn't know what I said. So how can you be fed up about something that when you didn't even understand what I said?
Because you do this boot stuff every day, bro. Like it is what it is.
So what?
Man,
So don't come back. If I do it every day and you come every day, how are you fed up? You keep coming back.
I'm gonna jump up out of here, man.
Dude, you should be fed up with being wrong. Hold on 1 second, Kamal. I see you, brother. I'm not supposed to ask for a fight between the two best fighters in a weight division. What a unique world we live in. Daryl McKinney says, Super Chat Thursday. Thank you, brother. What a crazy world we live in. Where you cannot ask for a fight between two of the three best fighters in a weight division when one guy holds all the belts. Come on, Oz. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Fanon? Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Hey, I feel like they might as well call us Nostradamus because everything we said about Crawford pre-fight in terms of market value and how the boxing public views him financially is coming to pass. He tried to he's trying to Jaron Boots Ennis saying nobody knows who he is. I don't want to fight him, da 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 da. And then he's getting sunned by Canelo and Jermell Charlo. They have no interest in the fight. Last caller, Pawn, was completely off. He said that Crawford has a higher pay-per-view value than Jermell Charlo. That is false. Eddie Reynoso already told you their game plan for the first two fights. And that's why Crawford brings nothing to the table for them. It's already been announced. He said that they want to face Jermell Charlo. If they beat him, the next plan is to face Jermell Charlo. They think that's great promotion, great publicity, and that will glean a lot of views and be basically a gimmick. And I've called out that strategy for as long as I heard that strategy. I've been on this show saying, hey, that's a piss poor strategy. I'm not familiar with that. So Pawn, get it right. Eddie Reynoso and Canelo Alvarez are the ones who are offering fights to people. They're the ones who have their pulse on the market. They know the market value. And Canelo has said in more ways than one, you bring nothing to the table for me fighting Crawford. He says, in his mind, the bigger market value, and we're talking finances here. I'm not talking about quality or I'm not talking about who's pound for pound. That's completely different topic. And Pawn likes to conflate those two issues when he talks to you. The Reynosos and Canelo said in their mind, the Charlo brothers have more economic and market value fighting them than fighting Terence Crawford. That's irrefutable. Period. So when it comes to talking about this issue, you have to talk about the hypocrisy that Crawford has, because he has overvalued his market value. He's issuing statements on Twitter saying him versus Canelo is the biggest fight in boxing, tagging Canelo in it, when I've said that that's not true. And I've said that he and the Bud Buddies are overvaluing their financial profile in this market and their market value. And then when Canelo says, hey, you've only fought one guy, which is what a lot of people think, you don't tag him in your response on Twitter. Notice that. He didn't tag Canelo and saying, hey, y'all are delusional, saying I only beat one guy, here you go again. No, it's the perception is reality. And the fact is, these guys are trying to use Crawford, again, corporate media, Pawn, puppets like that are trying to use Crawford as a blunt force object against the PBC. And when he doesn't, excuse me, when he doesn't conform to those standards, when he goes off the reservation, they correct him. And the guy, he is more, at this point, I'm going to say it like this, he's more Vernon Forrest than Floyd Mayweather. He's Vernon Forrest that beat Shane Mosley, great fighter, but didn't necessarily have the big market value. Okay, then Floyd Mayweather beating Oscar De La Hoya and then assuming that role of the cash cow, whether he wants to admit it or not. So Pawn says, the guy showed me the money, show me the money. The fact is, the reality is, the market is saying, other boxers are saying, Crawford, you don't have the market value. These are the fights that we want to see, natural fights, similar to when excuse me, what was his name? Badu Jack told Canelo, stop trying to drain me down. Stop trying to drain an old man. Go fight David Benavidez. That's the fight everybody wants to see. So again, Crawford and his team of Bud Buddies and the corporate media fanboys who hate on the PBC, you got to find different talking points, because perception is reality. The boxing public, your contemporaries are saying your ego is inflated in terms of your market value. These are the fights that are realistic. And Canelo's telling you the same thing. So if you want to tag Canelo on Twitter and saying Canelo versus Crawford is the biggest fight in boxing, which we all know is malarkey, there are 10 bigger fights than that. We know that you want to chase that bag, but there's no market value in terms of Canelo and Eddie Reynoso's perspective. That's why they've downplayed that fight, and they've told you what their next two moves are, which I personally don't agree. Then you've got to come to reality. And I'll say this, Crawford, if you're so determined to fight Canelo and you want to cut in line above all the guys like Christian and Billy, like Demetrius Andrade, David Benavidez, David Morrell Jr., and William Skull, undefeated IBF mandatory, go up there and put yourself in a position to be Canelo's mandatory. Go fight David Morrell Jr., beat him, and then force that fight. Go fight David Benavidez, beat him, and become Canelo's mandatory. Because clearly the boxing public and boxers out there are saying your market value is not there to where they're going to drop everything to fight you. You're a great fighter, but financially your profile's not there yet. So Pawn's arguments that he's such a big name and draw just off the back of beating one guy, Errol Spence, is ludicrous. And if you want to force the fight, if you're a big Bud Buddy, if you're Crawford's camp, go take out somebody at 168, earn your shot. I want to get your thoughts on that, Fanon. I'm out. Deuces.
All right, man, get back. My thought is this, that Terence Crawford is the undisputed champion at 147 pounds. This is absolutely ridiculous that there's so many people acting like you should not be asking, or talking about a fight between the undisputed champion at 147 and the top guys at the weight class that he's at. and act like somebody like myself needs to run around and talk about him fighting guys that are at 2 weight classes above him and a weight class below him. And absolutely positively, if he wants to fight with Terence Crawford, he can move up and fight to become the mandatory. Fight David Morrell, he could fight David Benavidez. They will take that fight in a heartbeat. But he's not going to do it. If he wants to fight Gervonta Davis, go down and start campaigning at 135. Do what Clarissa Shields did and go down a couple weight classes to fight for undisputed there. The idea that the only person that people really are other than the Errol Spence Jr. fight, the idea that you shouldn't be talking about a fight between the undisputed champion and the guy that's the best up-and-coming fighter in the weight division is ridiculous. And you guys call it hate. How can that be hate? They're in the same weight class. They're the same size. They're in the same sport. There literally is more outrage from people for talking about wanting to see Errol Terence Crawford fight Jaron Ennis. There's more outrage about that than there is Tyson Fury fighting Francis Ngannou. It's just ludicrous. How in the world, and I dare any of you all to tell me that, to explain that to me. The only thing that you have to say is that it's not going to happen. Why? Because Terence Crawford says it's not going to happen. That's the only thing keeping the fight from happening is Terence Crawford. That's it. And him saying, I want the bigger fights. Well, guess what? If you want the biggest fight out there, guess who it is? If everybody else tells you no. And Canelo Alvarez has all but said no. Jermell Charlo said, go fight Jaron. Gervonta Davis laughed at it. So all those three things are off the table. And then you want to come around and tell me, oh, well, Jermell needs to want to have it. No, Jermell needs to want it. Well, what's wrong? If you're going to tell me Jermell needs to want it and Canelo needs to want it or Gervonta needs to want it, then why can't Terence Crawford need to want it with Gervonta? With Jaron. He's in the same weight class. He's his mandatory. All those other fights are pipe dreams. All of those other fights are pipe dreams. But you want me to follow the pipe dream. Well, Terence Crawford says he wants Deontay because that's the biggest fight, Deontay. Think about what you're saying. You're telling people to not talk about a fight that's in a weight class. They're all 147 pounders. This is like Devin Haney being the 104. He's the undisputed champion at 147 pounder and 135 pounds. But it's ridiculous to say we want to see him fight Shakur Stevenson because it's nothing in it for him. They're in the same damn weight class. I want to see Devin Haney fight. Devin said he wants Shakur. No, Devin said that he wants to fight Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez. Or he wants to fight Monster Inoue. What kind of ridiculousness is this? Think about what you're actually saying. You all are pressuring guys that are not in his weight class to fight him, but don't want anybody to say about people that are actually in his weight class. And acts like it's ludicrous to talk about it. The ludicrous thing is that you don't talk about it. The crazy thing is that you don't talk about that fight. Hey, Wally Scott Bay, what's up? How dare you ask for great fights? Exactly. Much love in that. Much love, brother. Thank you. How dare you ask for great fights in a weight class where they both are? Click the link, Mr. Liar 62. I would love to fry you. Get your ass on. Come on here and get fried. No, Fanon, your narrative, you fraud, really don't like Bud. Come on up here then. Come on up here and tell me what I say is wrong. You're like, you behave like a child. When somebody tells you, look, here's the thing, man. If you don't want to fail the class, you got to turn your homework in. You just hating on me. You sound ludicrous. You sound ludicrous. Click the link. You sound ludicrous. What's going on? Mr. Childress said 2 words: opportunity paradox all day. And the opportunity paragraph is he's never fought anybody, so I don't have to fight him. Since I don't fight him, he never fought anybody, and on and on and on we go. And my man, what's Mr. Hardrick in the building? What's going on, sir? Much love in that super chat. Thank you. Said, good morning, sir. I think Bud is dodging Boots. I mean, he's got a rematch right now, so he's not ducking him right now. Because he's got a rematch he has to take. If he keeps the belts, there you go. Motorsports Sports in the building. What's up, sir? Are you there, Motorsports Sports? Motorsports Sports, your name is up here, so let me get rid of you. You must not have meant to jump on, Ramin. So let me kick that out. Let me kick you out there. Look, you guys can click the link. You can click this link and explain it to me. I want to hear the explanation. I want to hear the explanation. Give it to me. You say it's hate. I just think you riding that man's nizzies is what I think. That's what I think. That's my belief. And I think I've got, hey, what's going on, Mr. Taylor? Hey, go better in the building. Thank you, brother, for the $5 holler. Thank you, man. Appreciate you so much more than you know, man. Oh, that's Pawn. You think that's Pawn? Yeah. No, I don't think he's dodging him yet. I mean, because he's got to actually take the fight. I mean, he's got another fight coming up. What's going on, Rise Podcast? How you feeling, brother? Bud wants Jermell because of his big mouth. Just my belief in this on the situation. Yeah, but here's my belief on the situation. I don't really care what Bud wants. I don't have to care what Bud wants, bro. Tony Brown, the barbershop talk is Errol should try to hire Boots as a sparring partner for the rematch. Yeah, dude, that tells you that this channel has some influence. That tells you that this channel has some influence. Because that whole line of discussion started with blood boxing last Sunday. And what would he need to do? And then after that, I did a video on it. After that, YM Sports Media asked some people in the gym about it. And then it's been flying around since then. So I really do appreciate it. Anybody talking about that need to give some respect to my guy, Blood Boxing. Because that was Blood Boxing suggestion. Hey, Ramin Turner in the building. What's up? He said, Boots don't want to fight Bud. It's clear. Hey, welcome to the troll, bro. Welcome to the troll. Welcome to you are a licensed troll. I've been seeing that everywhere. It started on Sunday. I can tell, I'm telling you, man, I know how these ripples work. I know how it works. Do a 20,000 view video and then everybody will be doing the same videos. And it is what it is. For now, that truly shows that Blood knows his boxing. Yeah, Bud Boxing really knows his boxing. Absolutely, he does. We are so lucky to witness Bud Crawford live in action. Our grandkids will say, you saw Bud live. That could be true. That could be true. Terence Crawford's a great fighter. His fake fans just suck at making arguments in support of him. Look, man, you don't have to like Bud should. First of all, here's the thing. You guys criticize people for making fights and wanting fights. Let's take, for example, the second part of this. Frank Martin is Shakur's toughest fight. There is a quote that was out there. Hey, my grandkids will say you got to see Bud buck and bitch in real time. Oh my God, dog. Duck and itch in real time. Let me tell you something, man. There was a tweet that came out yesterday. Oh, fake fans, straight up fake fans. What makes one a fake Bud fan? I've been wondering for weeks. King is a fake. Oh, that's very obvious. It's in the title. You claim you're a fan of Bud Crawford, but you're not really one. You're just hating on Errol Spence or hating on the PBC. Take, for example, King. Take, for example, the guy that came by, RuPaul. I'll show you a fake one. When I say something like this, I want to see Errol Spence Jr. I think Jaron Ennis has the ability to beat Terence Crawford. And then I say, I think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And then you have this guy King jump on here who will say, that's ridiculous that you think that Jaron Ennis can beat Terence Crawford. No way. You're just hating on Bud. But then when I say Bud can beat Canelo Alvarez, oh, you don't really believe that. That's ridiculous to think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. You're really just hating on Bud. Right? How are you hating on Bud? Well, you're just hating on Bud. So what you're doing is you're covering it up by saying you think Terence Crawford has a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez. So you're really just giving him you're just really giving him credit as a way to really just hide your dislike for him. They don't want to say anything positive about Bud. They just want to get on people for saying anything negative about him. When I said Terence Crawford was the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world for years, they all said it was ridiculous. Many of these people said it was ridiculous. They just don't like the PBC. They just don't like Terence Crawford. That's a fake Terence Crawford fan. They don't really support Terence Crawford. They just hate the PBC. They just want to count how many times a fighter that is loosely associated with Top Rank beat somebody that is loosely associated with the PBC. There you go. Easy. Very, very, very easy to describe. Now when you say Bud is number 1 pound for pound, they say, no, keep that same energy. I had that same energy for years. Where was your energy? They can say whatever they want to say. It doesn't make a difference. You can call me a fake what fan if you want. What's the other side? I have a very hard time believing you can make that argument. People on the other side could say in the same way. So what? If they could say it, it wouldn't make any sense. They could say anything they want. Still ain't gonna make a difference. Derek Choice said, how do you think Boots and Canelo plays out? I don't know. I have no idea. I've never thought about it. In 2 years, give me Canelo. In 3 years, give me Jaron Ennis. 2 years, give me Jaron Ennis. In 2 years. Right now, I don't know. I don't know. Do not know. Don't know. I'll tell you this. If he was the number, I'll tell you this. I don't care about Jaron Ennis and Canelo Alvarez any more than I really care about Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Do you know who I care about? I care about Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez. Canelo Alvarez and David Morrell. I can tell you how Terence Crawford and David Morrell turns out if you're interested in that. Motorsports Sports in the building. Would you like me to explain how I think David Morrell and Terence Crawford plays out at 168? Oh, that's true. T. Orlando is true. If wrenches make personal attacks, you got to do it in the super chat. Otherwise, I got to clip you. That's the rules of engagement, man. You can't have the defense and overuse it. I'm going to have to clip you. Wrenches have to argue in the super chat. That's the rule. $2 minimums because you're attacking somebody with a wrench. And the purpose of people having a wrench is so that nobody gets blocked. If you're going to harass them, you're going to get. Got to put it in a super chat. For real, you got to support the channel, man. T Orlando supports the channel every day. Motorsports Sports in the building. What's up? Hold on one second. Motorsports Sports out here talking crazy. What's up, man?
Yeah, what's going on, Fana? How you doing, brother?
Man, I can't complain about a thing, man. You know, just doing it.
I just want to talk about this Boots and Buzz situation. First, I want to see the fight. Like, I want to see that fight. That fight is
Me
a great
too.
fight. That fight is like, to me, that's probably the best fight in boxing right now to make. After Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, that right there, just the stylistic.
After who?
After Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, that Jaron Ennis versus Bud is the next best fight.
Just stop hating on me trying to get it done, man.
I'm not hating on you trying to get it done, bro. What I'm saying is, I'm just saying Boots don't want to really fight the man, bro. That's what I'm saying. And
No,
this
you're
is what
not.
it's been proven.
You're not trying to
Come
say that.
on.
You're not trying to say that.
Listen, all right, I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying that, right? Can I explain why am I saying that? Why I got that opinion of why I got that feeling of why Boots don't want to fight?
I mean, I don't really want to hear it because it's going to be ridiculous, and then I'm going to have to get on it being ridiculous. So, but go ahead, man. Why not have at it?
I don't feel like it's ridiculous. All right, so Boots. So Terence Crawford tried to fight Boots. If it was a ploy, if it was
What?
So whatever it is, right? He tried to fight Boots. They had a conversation. Like it was in the talks to where it was about to happen. They talked to Espinoza. Reality wasn't gonna let Boots go to BLK Prime. That's a fact, right? Cool, right?
Say it again.
But they was never gonna let Boots go to BLK Prime to fight Bud, right? That was never gonna happen, right? So,
man,
but
look, man, yeah, go ahead with this whole thing, though. Go. Let me tell you something. First and foremost,
in reality,
I gotta tell you before you go through this whole thing, and you can go through the whole thing. I notice I'm saying before you go through this whole thing. Okay. All that is bullshit. But go ahead.
Okay, so
it's all bullshit,
right?
But go ahead. I mean, for real, it's all bullshit.
I feel like it is too. But I feel like if your bluff is called when you do stuff like that, like I feel like, Bud, if you really wanted to fight Boots at that time, you could have went to go get him. You could have signed a Showtime. You were a free agent. You didn't have to think it would be okay. You could have went to Showtime and you could have got the fight with Boots easily, right? But you put stuff in the air. Like, yo, listen.
So you're telling me Bud doesn't want to fight Boots?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying Boots don't want to fight Bud. Because at the end of the day, Boots is the young gun. Crawford is the old man. Like, he's the old man that's been in the game. You can't have somebody like Bud expecting him to go chase Boots. Boots has to be chasing Bud. That's how.
You mean like becoming his mandatory?
I mean, like calling him out, telling him I want to fight.
Oh, you mean like calling him out and becoming his mandatory?
Yeah, but becoming his mandatory is not going to get you to fight. Obviously, not with.
Why is this mandatory?
Because in 135, they didn't fight. Lomachenko didn't fight as mandatory on Devin Haney.
Devin Haney was never his mandatory. Devin Haney was never his mandatory.
Okay, so he got put in champion. He got put.
And Lomachenko did fight Devin Haney.
Champion. Yeah, he fought Devin Haney after that. But I'm saying at the point you fight for these, all these guys fight for these mandatory spots, right? But they never get them because the champions become champions and they decide they want to go fight whoever else.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, mandatories do get championship shots. Yes, they do.
I think the last person that took a mandatory was Tank. Who else took a mandatory?
Terence Crawford took a mandatory with Sean Porter. I mean, you want me to go through all the people that were mandated and got mandatory fights? There's a lot of them.
The only mandated fight that really happened in the last 2 years was they kept ordering Tank to fight these WBA guys. Like
I mean, I would have to go through it, but no, that's not. First of all, in some situations, you've had Errol Spence Jr. fought Carlos Ocampo. That was a mandatory. I do believe he fought Danny Garcia. I think Danny Garcia was going to be the mandatory. You have Tyson Fury who fought Dillian White as a mandatory. You had Deontay Wilder who fought Dominic Brazil as a mandatory. You had Canelo Alvarez with that ridiculous Yildirim mandatory. You've had a lot of people fight a lot of mandatories, man. Come on, man. I gotta let you go.
Yeah, those are all right.
You're kind of muddling it up, though. I gotta let you go. because you
Nah,
just kind
I
of
hear you.
pour
I just
shit in a
saying, I
bowl.
just know them mandatory. Nobody really have been fighting mandatories lately, and that's just what I've been seeing. You mentioned 5 years ago mandatories. I'm talking about now and today, like the last 2 to 3 years, they haven't been fighting mandatories.
Shakur Stevenson has a mandatory fight ordered for a couple months. They just made one between Shakur Stevenson and Gary Gary
Frank Martin.
and Frank Martin, and also the Rolly Romero fight was last year for Gervonta Davis. That was last year.
Yeah, but that was the only person that been taking mandatory. That's
Bro, they
all I'm
make
saying.
come on, man. They make mandatory. I gotta let you go, bro. We losing viewers, dog. Because this is crazy. It's just crazy, bro. You know you're my guy, dog, but you know it's crazy. It's just crazy. You know, I mean, you're my guy, Motorsports Sports, but really, you're just pulling stuff like firmly out of your backside, bro. There's nothing wrong with. First of all, you made an argument that made it sound like Terence. You're explaining why Terence Crawford doesn't want to fight him. There's no need to make an argument that Terence Crawford doesn't want to fight Jaron Ennis. We know he doesn't want to fight Jaron Ennis. That is an established truth. We know for 100% that he doesn't want to fight him. That's not my issue. That's not my issue, bro. That he doesn't want to fight him. We know he doesn't want to fight him. I want to know why that should be my problem. And why not making his problem my problem is hating. That's what I want to know. But I know that you guys don't think I hate. You guys just don't think. And if you can't think, and I'm not talking to you, Ramin, if you don't think, you can't think that I'm hating. You just run around calling names like a child. Hey, my guy, what's going on, Mr. Roman? Say great content as usual, Fanon. Thank you, brother. That means a lot. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. Man, look, dude. Terence Crawford has not defended an undisputed title. He's had undisputed titles twice. He's not defending it. Okay, so no. No. Terence Crawford, there's nothing wrong, and I'm gonna go back with this again. They arguing like, come on, man. Well, why y'all keep doing the sexist stuff? Women argue just fine. Women argue. Women can make very good arguments, man. I know some women that will fry your ass up in an argument. Very logical, by the way. Very logical. You guys don't like, some people don't like Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris can make a very sound argument. Crawford, that was crazy. Yeah, it's just kind of tough to listen to, Ramin, because all of that stuff with the BLK Prime and all that stuff was silly. Pretty much just a way to frame somebody for a duck. Salute Fanon. Shalom, my brother. What's going on, son of God? What's TRE? I don't know what TRE is. But look, back to this for a second. There was a tweet that came out the other day from Paul Magno, one of my favorite boxing writers, Paul Magno, favorite boxing writer. And he said that it's funny how Frank Martin is getting more heat for fighting Shakur Stevenson than Vasily Lomachenko got for not fighting him. Here for boxing. That's what I mean on people being fake fans. How are people going to light up on Frank Martin for taking a fight with Shakur Stevenson, talk bad about him fighting Shakur Stevenson, but they say nothing about Lomachenko for not fighting him? And in another instance where Top Rank won't make big fights within their own promotional company. Jason Torres says free Bomac. Look, man, I can't give Bud Mac gotta, you know what I mean? Bud Mac gonna have to do what he did. But Bud made it clear that he's gonna fight Errol at 154. What's with all the Boots talk? If Boots had some money behind him, Bud would stick around for it. You're just telling me what you think. You don't know that. Did Bud tell you that? that he would stick around for it. And then as soon as he drops his belts, then wake me up. Tell him to drop the belts. First part of this, let me address the first part. Bud made it clear that he would fight Errol at 154. Okay. What's all this Boots talk about? Boots is the mandatory for those belts, for the IBF belt. And he's the best fighter at 154. Why are you acting like you don't know what it's about? If Bud has said it's clear he's going to fight Errol Spence Jr. at 154, then what's all the Canelo about? Canelo talk about. You and I agreed the other day that, yeah, but what does that have to do with anything? I get if you offer that man $30 million, yeah, he'll take the fight. I want to see him take the fight. Read the top of read the title. I'm telling you that he's going to have to take that fight, or he's going to have to retire if he's looking for a big fight. Because the big money is going to go down because those other guys said they didn't want to fight him. What options does he have? Fanad, I know Big Mac is her. Big Bo Mac is here. Hey, let me tell you, man, I ain't got nothing to say anymore about Brian McIntyre and that stuff that's going on. If Bud never defends any undisputed, you think it bitters his legacy? No, not really. Sure, no worries. There's a link right there. Try your wheel. Try yourself at the wheel. Bud and Boots sell just as much, if not more, than Bud and Charlo if Charlo loses Canelo. Those options, my thing is the options are off the table. So it doesn't really matter. The Canelo Alvarez fight's off the table. So there's no reason to talk about that. Jermell Charlo said told Terence Crawford to go fight Jaron Ennis first. So there you go with that. And said he's not fighting him at 154. He's not coming down to 154 to fight him. So you're going to fight for no belts at 160? And if Errol, and that's coming off of a loss, it's not a big money fight. Very easy conversation to have. Because guess what? Oh, I won't give it all up. But trust me, brother, you'll be going nowhere with this argument. You'll be going nowhere with this argument. Hold on one second, man. And Boots is mandatory. That's why I'm talking about it. And I'm going to keep talking about it. I want to see the fight. Canelo KOs Crawford. The fight's not going to happen. So, nah. I think that's a good fight, but I'm telling you, man, you better know. He wants to fight Charlo that's his business. That's his business. What difference is what? So what? That's his business, what he wants to do for his own personal reasons. What difference does that make me? What difference does that make me? I need to know. Hey, man, the link is there, man. I'll put the link in there again. I've been saying I got Boots. Yeah, it was going on Lonzo Turner. But anyway, until he clicks the link. So, yeah, dog, there's people out there dogging Frank Martin, man. Dogging Frank. Dude, the PBC are the guys that want to make these fights, man. Another Al Heyman fight, taking a tough fight. Spence was relaxed in his farm. He needs to go back to the trenches in Dallas again. I mean, dog, I don't know about that. I don't think he was relaxed. I think Terence Crawford's a very good fighter, man, number one. And number two, he's probably at that weight class a little bit long, and he's too inactive. He needs more fights, man. That's the only thing. That's what I would love to have seen. I'd love to see Errol take more fights. Just more fights. Here for boxing. How can I help you?
Good morning, brother. How you, man? I was trying to get in the car, man. I'm heading out the house for a little while.
Ain't no worries, man. I know you're a family man. So it's good?
Shit at school right now, man. I got a couple hours to myself. Nah, man. So I was just wondering, like, I understand you guys want the fight, and it is a fight I would want to see, but like Bud said, immediately after the fight, he said that he struggled making 47, and that the rematch would likely take place at 54. So I understand the mandatory talk, but if Bud said he's moving up, then I don't understand the conversation. If he is moving up like he said he is, and I think that he will.
Okay, do you know the difference between moving up for one fight and dropping the belts?
What you mean? He's going to drop the belts. I think that he will.
Well, when he does drop the belts, then he won't be the mandatory, and we don't have to talk about it. But until then, he's got the belts.
Well, if Errol exercises his rematch clause, then I think that fight is going to happen, right?
Yeah,
it's reasonable to say. So I'm just saying at that point, it's kind of fruitless because they're going to have fight at 54. Errol said that he wants to fight at 54, and I think Bud said that he would honor that request if that's what Errol wanted to do. He did say it. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he did say that that's what he would do. So I mean, at that point, I think Bud has the right to enjoy his undisputed status for a couple more weeks until that happens.
Yeah, knock it out. So I'm still going to say it still doesn't change the point of that still doesn't change my point.
But he can't fight him. He can't fight Boots because Errol exercises rematch clause. So unless Errol steps aside.
Did you read the title of the video?
I feel like I did. I don't want to leave the screen.
Terence Crawford set up for Jaron Ennis after Errol Spence. That's what the video says. The top.
Okay. But
Terence Crawford. So we're talking about we're assuming that he beats Errol Spence and he didn't drop the belts, which means he's undisputed and he can fight whoever he wants to fight.
Well, if he doesn't drop the belts and Boots is his mandatory, then
not mandatory. He doesn't have to be his mandatory for him to fight him.
I mean, I think that when we say, I think you said something about him going to, I think it was your, I don't know if I read it in the chat, but somebody was saying, well, he talking about him going up to fight Canelo or Charlo at 68.
But both of those dudes said no go
to fight Bud.
Canelo said number one. He said two things. He said I get nothing out of beating Terence Crawford. Similar to what Terence Crawford has said about Jaron Ennis. Canelo said the same thing about him. And he said you've only beaten one guy. But that's what he said. And then Jamel said, I'm not fighting Terence Crawford at 154. If I fight him, it'd be at 160, but he needs to fight. He needs to go fight Jaron Ennis first.
So it sounds like Charlo's hiding behind, but it sounds like Charlo's hiding behind Boots, which is whatever. I think he is.
Doesn't matter. He can be hiding or not hiding. He said he ain't gonna fight him. He said go fight Jaron. So those options are off the table.
He said he also said he would fight him.
Right at 160, go fight Jaron.
So
go fight Jaron, and they'll fight him at 160. That means not next. Go fight Jaron. So go fight Jaron.
I think Bud has more notoriety in the sport to call his own shots than Charlo. Charlo can't call a shot for
Charlo
Bud.
Can't call. Canelo Alvarez cannot call. I mean, Terence Crawford can't call no shots on Jermell Charlo. None.
I mean, if he said he wants to fight and it's about making money, I think that if that's where we are, I think Bud wanting either fight is a big money fight, and they're both mega fights, super fights. I don't think Bud versus Boots is a mega fight or a super fight right now.
If Jaron, let me go back to Terence Crawford being able to call shots. Terence Crawford cannot call any shots on Jermell Charlo. None.
I mean, if
Jermell Charlo says go fight Jaron Ennis, and then I'll fight you 160, and Terence Crawford really wants to fight him, then he'll do exactly what Errol did when Terence Crawford said, I'm not going to fight you, but it's for a certain amount of money. Jaron, he can't tell Jaron Ennis what to do. He can't tell Terence Crawford what to do. He can't tell Jermell Charlo what to do.
So you don't think Charlo's ducking?
I don't care. How's he ducking? He doesn't ducking where? I don't care if he's ducking or not. That's not part of the subject.
I'm just asking.
The issue is you can call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it a duck, you can call it a non-duck, you can call Canelo a duck, you can call it doesn't matter. If Jermell Charlo wants to duck, Jermell can duck. Right. You can't call no shots on that man.
I mean, but you want Boots to fight Bud, and I guess it's because he's mandatory status. But if Bud is moving up, then it's kind of a fruitless fight. And if Bud's saying I want big money fights, and that's what Charlo wants as well, then it only makes sense.
Jermell Charlo said exactly what Jermell Charlo said. I'll fight you. I'm not fighting you at 154. The fight would have to be at 60. Go fight Jaron. That's what he's saying.
I'll only fight
you.
Hold
on, man. 60. That's what he said. You got to take that man at his word. That's what that man said. That's what he said. He said, scary. Go fight Jaron. So that option for according to Jermell ain't there. And, Terence Crawford cannot make Jermell fight him. He can't.
Right. And Boots can't make Bud
watch
fight.
this. Canelo Alvarez said, I get nothing out of it. So clearly he doesn't think it's a big money fight.
It's a super fight, and he knows it is. It's a super fight.
No, he doesn't know it is. He said it's a lose-lose for me. He said, I will get nothing out of beating him.
What did he get out of beating John Ryder and what's the other guy?
Whatever he wanted out of it.
Come on, man.
He made the decision to fight John Ryder. You cannot tell Canelo Alvarez who Canelo has to fight.
I'm not telling him anything. I'm just asking you, what's a bigger fight, a bigger payday? It's
what? For Canelo Alvarez? I don't know. It depends on the negotiation.
For Canelo, it's a bigger fight. Canelo's calling shots.
Canelo Alvarez, I don't know if it is or not. Canelo Alvarez could fight David Benavidez and make more money than fighting Terence Crawford. Who knows?
He don't want that fight. I think he's made that clear. But
you keep mind reading people, bro. I'm not trying to mind read these dudes. I'm gonna go off what they said. You putting intentions into these dudes' brains.
So if
I'm telling you, as far as the fights that Terence Crawford has said that he wanted, Terence Crawford said that he wanted Gervonta Davis at 147. He said he wanted Jermell Charlo at 154 for undisputed, or he wants a winner of Terence Crawford and Canelo of Jermell Charlo and
Charlo and Canelo. Yeah.
And then what? Guess what? All three of them said to him,
right?
No, they said no to him. All three of them told the man no, or implied the answer is no. So with those off the table, let's talk about the big money fight for him. But other than Errol, the fight that's going to be taken, if you take those people at their words and they say no, because you can't make them fight him, then what's left?
So
Jaron Ennis.
So my question, no, it's not. It's not true. It's not Jaron.
Who else?
Tim Tszyu is there. There's guys at 54. There's Fundora is there. What's the guy that just knocked Fundora out? What's his name? Mendoza? He's there. There's guys at 54 he can fight if the intention is to move up. If he's not staying at 47, that's what I'm saying.
They are big money. Those are big money fights.
They're stepping stones for him to get where he wants if he's moving to the next
answer. So the answer to that is no.
They're not big money fights, but they're also not.
There you go. That's a question. You said big money. We talking about he wants big money fights.
Yeah, so but I'm saying that
if those are not big money fights, then they don't make the list. They're not big money fights.
But you have to understand that Boots would not be in his weight class anymore if he moves up to 54.
If he doesn't drop the belts, he is in the weight class.
Well, I mean, if he's moving up to 54, that all remains to be seen. It's all speculation.
Terence Crawford can stay at one. This is third weight class. That man can move up to. He can stay at 147 pounds for the rest of his career easy if he wants.
I'm just saying. I think that he did say that he has a hard time making 50. That he has a hard time making 47 now.
He said it's not easy for him as well.
Right. Who said it's not easy for him? You talking about Bud?
Yeah.
Yes, it's not easy for him to make. It's not easy for him to make 47 anymore. So I think he's saying without saying that he won't be around.
Dude, no, he ain't saying he's not being around because he said he would fight Gervonta Davis at 147.
Well, yeah, because it's a big money fight.
There you go. So you can't say he can't be there. He can be there.
I think
and these other guys are not big money fights, and all of the big money fights is relative. What's the biggest amount of money you can get for a fight? is the biggest money fight that there's available for you.
But
He's not going to be fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr. Let me go through the list of people that he ain't fighting. He ain't fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr. Canelo Alvarez said that he doesn't get anything out of the fight. Jermell Charlo told him to go fight Jaron Ennis first. And then Gervonta Davis just laughing at it.
Well, what reason does Charlo have to say, go fight Boots, go fight Boots? There's no reason.
I don't care.
We have to care.
I don't have to care about his reason. No, I don't.
We have to care.
It's irrelevant to the question. It's irrelevant to the question.
So if Boots goes and fights Bud and Bud beats Boots, then so Charlo has to fight him, right? That's what he's saying. If Bud goes and beats Boots, I misspoke. I'm sorry. If Bud beats, it's too many B's in this, man. If Bud beats Boots, and based on what Charlo's saying, so Charlo should be fighting him after that, right? Or
he may not. Who knows? Who cares? That's not the subject matter, man. You want to move over there, dog? Bring it back.
It's just branches to a tree, and it's a tree and it's branches.
No, it's not branches. It's called deflecting off this argument.
No, I'm just
back
asking
to the original point,
I'm
man.
just asking questions.
I know you're asking questions, and I'm going to bring it back. I don't want to ask woulda, coulda, shouldas. The title of this video is Terence Crawford set up for Jaron after Errol Spence with a question mark. Why did I say that? I said because everybody else Terence Crawford said that they want to fight is intimating that they don't care to fight him. So those fights are not available for him.
Well, I think
since those fights are not available for him, what is going to be out there? He's going to drop the undisputed title and go fight at 154 against guys for no belts that ain't no big names and aren't even as big a name as Jaron Ennis is? Well, I would say nah.
So if he stays at 40
or fight Keith Thurman has had one fight in the last 3 years.
So if he stays at 47 too long, and then he has the same issues that some people think Errol had. They think it was weight cut issues, being weight drained and everything else, being at the weight too long. He won't be afforded the same logic that's being afforded to Errol.
My problem, not on the subject.
It is on the subject.
To the subject, man.
It is on the subject. He's not.
No, it is not on the subject. You're asking me what would happen if he loses. If he loses to Boots Ennis, he has to fight him in order for that to become relevant.
Well,
we're talking about whether or not he will be in the situation where he needs to fight him, not what's going to happen afterwards. Those are two different things, man.
Well,
you gotta stay with. Hold on one second, because I can't let these super chats go too long.
No, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Hey, no worries, man. It's all good. Aaron Muhammad says super chat Thursday for 9. You the truth. You put it down. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Big Key said, good morning. I'm sorry, I messed up. Good morning, family. If you're not going to defend the belts against people who are contenders for the belts, then drop the belts. That goes for any champion, not just Bud. This is my own humble opinion on the topic. That's pretty much what it is. Much love in super chat, brother. And Aaron Muhammad in the building said, super chat Thursday for 90, the truth you put down. He said, Kang clip the bang. What is that? Kang click the bang. What's going on, brother? Thank you. And Leo Shank said Bud fans are the best. Much love in that super chat. Hold on one second, man. Hold on, man. I'll be right back in a second. Hold on.
Can I close? Oh, shit. Oh, all right. Thought I could close that screen for a second.
My guy Kai said, no, you good. Hey, Gary wanted to fight. Bud had no response. Nah, Bud ain't trying to fight Gary Russell Jr. That's a mismatch. I don't think that's really even a good fight, though. Kai, much love. Thank you, sister. Thank you, brother, for that support. Now, where were we?
Ultimately, I got to go in like a minute or two. I had to make a quick run. I'm sitting in my car right now. So no, I'm just saying I lose my train of thought sometimes. Just saying overall right now, while Bud is in his he's intertwined with the rematch clause. He's dealing with that right now. So I think the Boots conversation is at least on hold until he takes that fight. Once that fight happens, and I think there's more clarity on that situation, either you drop the belts or you fight Boots. I'm cool with that. But right now, that's just too far ahead.
Hold on, man. You think that's too far ahead, but asking me questions about what will happen if Bud loses to Boots isn't?
No. It's all because, listen, I'm just asking questions. I just want to know what you think about it. I'm not trying to interrogate you. I'm just asking what you think about it. That's all.
The video title is this: Terence Crawford set up for Jaron Ennis after Errol Spence. I didn't want to have a long discussion about who we think is going to win between Errol and Terence. So that's the framing of the discussion. But the reason why it is brought in is because of what Jermell Charlo said about Terence Crawford, and just the other day, which was go fight Jaron Ennis first. Terence Crawford is in a situation, whether people think that he's made this big, otherworldly leap in his career, I would make an argument that, dude, everything that he's asked for, he's not going to get any of that. So I want the fight with Jaron Ennis. That's the fight that I want to see.
Right. As I go run my errands, I just don't understand what relevance Charlo has to Boots. What relevance Boots has to Bud fighting Charlo. It doesn't make sense for him to say, "Oh, go fight Boots, go fight Boots." That's none of Charlo's business.
Well, you want to know the relevance of it?
What is it?
Jermell said, "Do it."
He ain't his boss. He don't tell him what to do.
And Terence Crawford is not Jermell's boss, and he don't tell him what to do.
He ain't telling him what to do. He's calling him out for
want to fight. But if you want to fight him, there you go. That's a demand.
That ain't how it works, and you know that, bro. Come on.
Oh, it is how it works. If I tell you this, man, this is exactly how it works. If somebody tells me, "Hey, man, I want to work for your company," you got to, and I say, "Yeah, sure, put in an application." And that man said, "Nah, I don't want to put in an application." Well, you don't want the job. If Errol Spence Jr. tells Terence Crawford, "Yeah, I'll fight you," get a championship belt first, and then he gets a belt. But he says, "No, I don't want to get a championship belt." And then Errol says, "I don't want to fight you then because you didn't get the belt." Then, hey, man, there you go. You're not going to get the fight.
But what does Bud fighting Boots do for Charlo? It does nothing for him. So that's not his concern.
You got to go ask Jermell Charlo. I don't know, personal satisfaction.
Jermell
we can
scared.
guess. You want me to guess? Maybe he doesn't like Jaron Ennis and he wants to see Jaron Ennis lose. Maybe he just wants to show up and see the fight. I don't know. There could be multiple reasons, but none of it has anything to do with this conversation, which is that Jermell Charlo said, number one, I'm not fighting him at 154.
Okay.
So he's not going to get shots at those belts. And then he said, go fight Jaron. And plus, Jermell don't plan on fighting him now because he plans on beating Canelo.
What does a fight at 47 have to do with Bud fighting Jermell at 160?
You're going to have to ask Jermell. I already told you what it has to do with it because Jermell Charlo said that's what he should go do.
Okay. All right,
that's what it has to do with it.
I think it's a duck, but that's just my opinion.
I mean, but if you think that's a duck, then Terence Crawford not fighting Jaron Ennis is definitely a duck. Not
right now, it's not.
It is.
He's not. He's mandatory.
Yes, it is. If he said it, you called it a duck. Terence Crawford has a fight. Terence Crawford has a fight with Errol Spence. With Jermell Charlo has a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Mm-hmm. The fact that he just like Terence Crawford has a fight with Errol Spence Jr.
Right.
So if it's not a duck for Terence to say that he doesn't want to fight Jaron Ennis at 147 because he has another fight, then it is also likewise not a duck for Terence Crawford, or excuse me, if it's a duck for Jermell, who has a fight September 30th, to say he doesn't want to fight Terence Crawford unless he fights Jaron Ennis yet or put some stipulation on it. If that's a duck, then it's a duck for Terence Crawford to say he won't fight Jaron Ennis if Jaron Ennis, while he has a fight with Errol Spence. We've been through this before. It's the same standard for both people.
I'm just saying, what takes precedence? The contract takes precedent over the mandatory. That takes precedence. So all I'm saying is, if Bud handles business against Errol in December, whatever they fight, and let's just say Charlo loses to Canelo, there's no rematch there if Charlo loses. And if Bud's saying, okay, you don't have a fight, I don't have a fight, I'm moving up.
In that case, Jaron Ennis trumps Jermell.
Not if Bud leaves 50. Not if Bud leaves 47.
Or it's a duck because it's your mandatory over a mandatory's trump a voluntary. Mandatory's trump a voluntary. Then it's for no belts.
Going to 60 to fight.
Do you want to get off into this Futurama shit again?
Well, we just talking.
No, bro, we're not. Talking. You keep saying you want to just keep talking. I'm telling you, the only thing I want to talk about is the subject matter.
Because that's Futurama. Because it's not.
No, it is, dude. Come on, man.
It is, bro.
I'm telling you right now, Terence Crawford set up Jaron Ennis after Errol Spence. That's the subject matter, bro. Period.
Well,
That's the question. That's the question. That's the issue that's framed that everybody's discussing. And what I said was that if Terence Crawford beats Errol Spence, he is in a situation where his biggest fight is going to be Jaron, because the other guys said that he didn't want to fight him. Keith Thurman is nobody's asking for the Keith Thurman fight, and Keith Thurman has been inactive. So for an undisputed fight, an undisputed fight against Jaron Ennis is probably his best option. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that. But if he's saying that he struggles to make
then you
47,
just say you agree. Don't say you don't disagree. You
No,
agree.
I
That's a
agree.
double negative, man.
No,
I agree.
I agree. But
There you go.
again,
So what else we talking about?
because he said he's not going to stay at 47. The weight isn't.
He
said
did
he
not
struggles,
say that he was not going to stay at 147. No, he didn't.
so he's going to go to 54, and then
That's what he said he would do
54.
for Gervonta Davis.
Well, what I'm asking is, he's going to go. I mean, come on, you know how much money's in that?
What difference does it make? He said he did
about
not
the
say that
money.
he was going to leave 147.
It's
He
about
said that he would. He said that he would stay at 147 for the big fight. His big fight is Jaron Ennis, because none of those guys are going to fight him.
How much money did Ryan Garcia make against Tank?
30 million.
He made 30. You don't think Buddy get at least 30?
Hell no.
For a Tank fight?
No.
He won't come close?
No. You know why? Because Gervonta's not going to fight him.
I'm just saying, if there was money to be
He's
made,
not going to fight him. The man said he's not going to fight him. Gervonta Davis is not going to 147 to fight Terence Crawford. He's not going to do it. He's not going to move up 2 weight classes to fight Gervonta. He's not going to do it.
Well, all Bud did in that case was respond to the seed that Tank had planted in that conversation and thrown out there. He just responded.
He did not say he would not fight at 147. He didn't. What he said was that if Errol Spence asked for the fight at 154, he'd probably do that. When he drops the belts, we'll see him drop the belts. But even when he drops the belts, based on what these other guys said, his biggest fight is going to be Jaron Ennis. Because it doesn't matter with or without the belts. There's nobody at 147, at 154 that is a bigger fight for Terence Crawford than Jaron. None.
So what do you think Boots? I'm sorry. What do you think Bud would make fighting Boots? Just asking.
I don't know. Whatever Showtime and those guys are willing to put it up for. I don't know.
Because I'm sure he could go to 54 and fight Tim Tszyu and make the same money.
No way.
I think he'll make the same money. I think he'll make similar money, very close money.
Why would you think that?
Because Tszyu will have a belt when Charlo steps in the ring with Canelo. So there's a belt on the line and something on the line.
You're just guessing at that. You're just guessing, bro. You're just guessing.
More.
Tim Tszyu is not Tim Tszyu is Tim Tszyu.
He's from Australia.
If you think Tim Tszyu is a big money fight for Terence Crawford, man, I don't know what to tell you. He is not going to make more money.
I think it's
come
equal
on,
money
man.
to Boots.
Come on, man.
It's equal money.
On, man. There's no reason to believe that, man. There's no reason to believe that.
There's an entire country behind him.
Dude, now he's gonna come on, man.
There's money to be made there. There's money to be made.
There's money to be made. Come on, man. You're out in La La Land now.
Hey, man, we just
fight Brian Mendoza. Brian Mendoza or Tim Tszyu, man. Come on, man.
I don't think there's money in the Brian Mendoza fight, but I think there's something with Tim Tszyu.
There's money in Gervonta, and there's money in the Jaron in this fight too.
I think there's equal money at a more comfortable weight.
No, you don't. You're guessing.
I do. That's what I think. It's just
You're guessing.
Think.
You're
I
guessing.
always say, whenever we talk, I always say what I think. I never speak.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Why in the world would you think? I don't even want to do this, man, because this is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, bro. It sounds to me like you're trying to find a way just to make any argument from not to fight Jaron Ennis.
No,
Jaron Ennis and Terence Crawford. Jaron Ennis and Terence Crawford is a fight that's being talked about all throughout social media, and nobody is talking. And also, the guy that would be airing the fight, Stephen Espinoza, said that other than Errol Spence Jr., he thinks Terence Crawford's biggest fight, other than Terence Crawford, is Jaron Ennis. He never, and this is the guy that airs the fight, never mentioned Tim Tszyu. So Stephen Espinoza didn't say that.
So I'll say one thing, and then I gotta go. I'll let you finish out. I mean, not let you, but you know what I mean. I'll let you.
I got you.
I'll give you the last word. So ultimately, I think that again, we talked the other day, and we said that Bud would fight Boots at 47 if the money was right. So if the money's right, then I think he would do it. The money just has to be right, and the only person who knows if the money is right is Bud.
So watch this. Right is the most money that the most right is the most money you can get
Hit him
for
once, I'm sorry.
everybody. The right price is the most money that you can get. That is what is called your market value. Market value is the highest money, the largest amount of money that somebody will pay you in the market. That's your market value. So if the most offer, the biggest fight offer that he gets is Jaron Ennis, then the money's going to be right. Or he's going to retire, or he's going to take wrong money.
I mean, he's not going to accept a lowball offer to fight Boots, but I think his end goal right now is he's trying to make money. I think he's made that clear. I'm here for the money. I'm not here for.
You think he's going to fight Jaron Ennis for free?
No, but I think the money has to be right. I don't think he's going to fight.
You think he's going to get no money to fight Jaron Ennis?
I think he needs somewhere between 10 and 15 to entertain it.
He's not going to get between 10 and 15 for Charlo or Canelo.
He'll get that with Canelo. For
no
sure.
Chance.
He'll get that with Canelo.
Maybe he'll get a 10. Maybe Canelo. Maybe Canelo. He'll get between 10 and 15. Maybe.
That's a super fight that intrigues a lot of people.
No, bro, that's a fight where Canelo Alvarez can get that man a flat fee or tell him to fuck off.
So if you don't think that he'll fight Canelo, if he doesn't get he might get 10 million for Canelo.
Maybe he'll get 10 million for Canelo.
Maybe 10 million for Canelo. So what do you think he gets for Boots?
I don't know.
Get the same.
I don't know.
He ain't gonna fight him for 2 million.
But here's again, you keep backtracking onto the same thing. I don't know how much money he's going to get for Floyd Mayweather either. I don't know how much money he's going to get for fighting Muhammad Ali, a hologram of Muhammad Ali either. I know Canelo Alvarez said there's nothing in it for him.
Yeah, there's 50 million in it.
No, it's not for Canelo Alvarez can get 50. Canelo said there's nothing in it for him.
Canelo can get 50 for it.
He said there's nothing in it for him. That's what Canelo said. So I'm not going to argue with Canelo.
Yeah. I mean, I have questions about, Canelo's selections, but that's
you
for another.
Question all you want. Canelo Alvarez said there's nothing in it for him. So why you keep saying what's in it for Canelo?
I think it's false.
I think it's false that he's not going to get $100 million for Jaron. I can do that too. If you want to tell me what I feel there's $100 million out there for Terence Crawford versus Jaron.
But we know that's not true.
And no, we don't know that's not true. We believe that's not true.
I think
there may be a Saudi prince. There may be a Saudi prince out there somewhere that wants to pay him $100 million to see the fight. It could happen.
Yeah. I think that the biggest money fight for Bud would be Canelo 1.
Canelo said he doesn't. It's not for him because Canelo said, "Dude, come on, man." Canelo already said he does. Canelo said there's nothing in it for him. That's what Canelo said, man.
Canelo is cap, and we know that.
He's cap. Canelo Alvarez is cap about saying what he don't want to do.
It's cap.
Dude, Canelo said he don't want him. Canelo said there's nothing in it for him.
Come
on, man. Then I can say Bud is cap. Then Bud is cap. I can throw any type of accusation at anybody, man.
Canelo fought Rocky Phil, and he fought the dude Yindrim, whatever his name is, and so many other countless names that just didn't make sense.
So if Terence Crawford fights David Avanesyan, he can fight Bud. He can fight Jaron.
He fought.
If he fought Thomas Delorme, he can fight Jaron.
He brought Avanesyan up. They asked Boots for a fight when he fought Avanesyan, and Boots.
Dude, I gotta let you go, bro, because you're just at this point in time, brother. You just come on.
No, you brought up.
All right, man. No, dog. You're trying to find a way to get something to make a point.
No, you brought up
back to the point, bro. I'm not about to argue about something. I'm not about to argue about. I'm not about to argue about a bunch of YouTube gossipy bullshit. Okay,
gossip.
I think it's gossipy bullshit.
It was out of Bud's mouth. Bud said
it's gossipy bullshit. Then I would have fought if he could have fought him. Then he can fight him now.
Bud brought it up, and Bud said that they offered.
That shit, man. Please
they didn't offer. They didn't. They didn't
look,
make
man.
offer.
Look, man. I'm trying. Look, we're gonna both be respectful enough to get the fuck up out of La La Land with each other. Okay.
I'm asking you a question.
And I'm asking. I know. Stop asking me questions.
I can't ask you questions.
No, because you're just trying to move the conversation all over the place to get out of the conversation we're having.
All right,
Bro, I've been talking to you for well over 20 minutes.
All right,
and we agreed to be polite with one another, but you are just trying to move here, there, and everywhere else.
Look,
nothing. The conversation is this. These three guys said no to a fight with Jaron for Terence Crawford. Those guys said no, they're off the plate.
All right.
I don't want to talk about whether they're right or they're wrong and whether they're cap or not cap. Jaron Ennis is in 147 pounds. He's his mandatory. Terence Crawford has not dropped the belts. He is the undisputed champion. This second, he did not say he was dropping these belts. He has not dropped those belts. Those other guys did say, Canelo said that there's nothing in it for him. So get Canelo out of the conversation. Whether you like what Canelo said or you believe what he said is right or not. It's nothing to do with the conversation anymore. Jermell Charlo said, fight Jaron Ennis. It doesn't matter whether you like what he had to say or not. He said it. You can say he's capped for wanting it, and what does it have to do with it? It has nothing to do with the conversation that we're talking about. It is completely irrelevant. His thought process. Gervonta Davis's thought process as to why he doesn't want to fight Terence Crawford is irrelevant to the fact that he said that he's not going to do it. So those options are gone.
So everybody can say they're not.
What are his options? No. What are his options now?
So everybody can say
no. You're just trying to get out of it. You're trying to wiggle. You're trying to wiggle. I don't want to mute you. I don't want to mute you because you said all I do is mute and block. No, I'm going to finish my point because you claim that all I do is mute and block, and I've not mute or blocked you. But you are doing what I told you do. You deflect.
Well,
you use red herrings, you use straw man arguments, and you move the conversation all over the place.
I haven't said a word in 2 minutes.
I am telling because you keep talking. I am going to keep doing it.
Right,
you're going to bring up another. No, you're going to bring up another question and say, well, what about this thing that has nothing to do with the topic in hand? Now go ahead and ask me another question that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
What I want to do is I'm going to send you a DM on Twitter and we can talk.
Don't.
More. I will.
We are talking right now.
No, I have to
ask
go.
Your question. Ask your question that I know is going to lead to something else.
And that's what I don't want it to do because I have to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a message on Twitter and we'll chop it up later.
Fair enough.
My guy.
All right, man. Peace.
Be safe, brother. Take care, man.
You as well, man. Peace.
Always.
Yes, sir. Come on, Oz in the building. What's up, man?
Hey, Fanon, just got to respond to that last caller. And people got to get it really clear in their minds. If you hold belts, you don't just hold the prestige and the recognition that comes with championship titles. You also own the responsibilities to defend those titles against those who have put themselves in a position to be a mandatory. Okay. So right now, Crawford is saying, I'm the king of 147, and he rightfully can claim it because Errol did the heavy lifting. And in one fight, he became the undisputed champion by beating one guy, Errol Spence, who had done all the work in being Thanos and collected the other 3 belts. So it's not enough to say I'm the champion of the division. I hold all the titles, especially for someone with Crawford who doesn't have Canelo's ability with these sanctioning bodies to avoid mandatories, with the exception of the IBF, as we've mentioned before. He has to fight his mandatories if he's going to hold those belts. If he says he's going up to 154, Errol did ask for the fight at 154, but I didn't hear that it was confirmed that the rematch is going to take place in junior middleweight, nor did I hear it confirmed that Crawford for sure is going to move up to junior middleweight. So as of right now, he still holds the titles. He has responsibilities to defend those titles. The moment that he drops those titles, those responsibilities go away. But the problem is a lot of boxers want to have their cake and eat it too. And you know me, Fanon, I've been consistent, regardless of who the boxer is, who their promoter or network affiliation is with people holding belts hostage. So I got on Jamal Charlo for not fighting Carlos Adames and the WBC for keeping him champion for 2.5 years while he's just, he's only fighting in the streets, not really fighting inside the ring. I got on Jermell because I really wanted to see the Tim Tszyu fight. That was his responsibility. And what did the WBO do? They rightfully stripped him because they told him, this is what you've got to do in your next fight. We've extended you for the injury, but your next opponent has to be Tim Tszyu. So a lot of these Bud buddies still are confused and they want to conflate issues. The boxing public is telling you that Crawford is a great fighter, pound for pound #1. But that status of him being inside the ring, pound for pound #1, does not equate to being financially #1 or financially a big draw, which he's not. Caleb Plant earned $10 million for Canelo, and he was the final piece for Canelo to be undisputed at 168. Crawford moving up 3 divisions, thinking he can cut in line of other people at 168, does nothing for Canelo, and Canelo has said it. So your guy is the one who started calling out Jermell Charlo, which Jermell Charlo entertained Crawford more than I would have, because the moment that he was signed to fight Canelo, if I was Jermell Charlo, I would have said, I'm not talking about any other fight but the fight I have in front of me. Canelo's a very dangerous opponent. He's fought tough guys, and I'm not talking about Crawford because we don't know what the future holds. But Jermell, to his detriment, started entertaining this Crawford talk and started talking about fighting him. And when he was called out, he has a right to respond. You may not like Jermell Charlo's responses, but they are what they are. And they're further proof of the receipts that I've been saying that this guy, Crawford, beating Errol Spence, did solidify him as pound for pound #1. But again, he's not a big draw financially. You don't like Canelo and what he's been doing, but your guy called out Canelo and said that would be the biggest fight in boxing, while simultaneously trying to sun Jaron Boots Ennis and saying there's nothing in the fight for me. So the irony is, when you do that, you open yourself up to people to offer counterpoints. And Canelo has offered his counterpoint. You can deny it, you can go back against it, but the facts are the facts. Your guy called out Canelo, tagged him in a Twitter post saying Canelo versus me is the biggest fight in boxing. And Canelo sunned you the same way you tried to sun Jaron Boots Ennis. And he said, it does nothing for me. The money's not there, period. So don't conflate Crawford's status as pound for pound #1 with this financial status as being a kingpin, because those two are not the same, period. And do not get angry when someone says you hold the crown, or your fighter says, I hold the crown, I hold all the belts, and then people ask you to defend those belts against your mandatory, your obligations. I've been on here ever since Fanon has known me, telling me that I don't like how Canelo has only fought 1 mandatory, really 2 mandatories in his whole career. One of those he chose in Avni Yildirim. WBC later apologized for that. And then he fought John Ryder a little early. He has more benefits than these other boxers. So you Crawford fans cannot say, oh, I don't like the way Canelo moves. I don't like this. I don't like that. It's not fair what he's doing. I've said that from the beginning, before your guy was used as a bludgeon against corporate media, a bludgeon by corporate media against Crawford in the PBC. Okay, so he doesn't have the same privileges that Canelo has. David Benavidez versus Canelo, the irony in all that is that's a big money fight. Everybody in boxing wants to see that. Much bigger than the potential Crawford-Canelo fight would be, period. So again, if Crawford is insistent on trying to get the Canelo fight, it is his obligation to drop the belts if he doesn't plan to defend them against guys at 147. It is his obligation, because he's not going to get a free ticket. Doesn't have the market value according to the people who will be making the decision, which is Canelo and Eddie Cartel Reynoso. He doesn't have the market value as an opponent that he thinks he does. And what is it? What is tango? It takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 to dance. So you can't say, you and me is the biggest fight out there. I'm going to make the fight. But then the guy says, no, you're not going to make the fight. You're not worth that time. And you can't force the guy into the ring. Now, what the alternative is what I said earlier in my last call, You force the mandatory. You go up, if you really want to fight Canelo, you're not going to get cut in line. He's not going to take that. You go up there, you challenge David Benavidez, you challenge David Morrell, his two people who are positioned to be his mandatory, beat them, and you become a Debo and you knock down that door. Those are your only options. You fight William Skull, undefeated Cuban, who's going to be named the IBF mandatory here pretty soon. Fight Andre to force the WBO. Okay, those are your only options, because no matter what these bud buddies and Crawford's camp think, believe, whatever they say, the boxing public, the market value for your guy, even after beating Spence, is not that great. The pay-per-view buys in Crawford and Spence were lower than what a lot of people thought they would be. I thought that maybe they could get to 1 million. They were far short of that. The rematch will probably do a lot less buys. Probably, I think it'll do 500,000 tops.
Hey, you kind of going off the point now, man. Let's
So
get back.
I'm gonna get on this, but on one last thing. So you guys, you bud buddies, you got to get it through your heads. Errol gave you the farm in negotiations. He gave up more than what me and Fanon and others thought he should have as the A side. That's not going to happen with other boxers, period. So get that through your heads. And with that, I'm out. Thank you, Fanon.
All right, man, get back. Why in the building? Thank you, brother. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much, man, for your support, man. Hey, what's going on? Mr. Hardrick in the building said, Fanon, does this guy know what a mandatory is? Bud is the mandatory. Look, man, here's my thing, man. And I'm telling you, man, this shit gets, like, for me, that's why I mute people. Understand, man. People said, like, why do I mute people? Why do I put people in the back? It's that. It's that. Stay on the topic. That shit is just wiggling around and wiggling around and wiggling around and wiggling around and wiggling around. Like, that's not an enjoyable conversation to have. And it's not really even honest discussion to have. It is I'm going to make a point that sounds valid no matter what I got to do type of conversation. It is very, very clear what we're talking about. Got to stay on the issue. The issue is not whether or not Jaron, Canelo Alvarez is right or wrong. And let's go into an hour-and-a-half conversation about what Canelo needing to give Terence Crawford a fight. Or whether or not Jermell Charlo is ducking if Jermell Charlo doesn't fight Terence Crawford like Terence Crawford wants him to. Or if Gervonta Davis has been at 140, so Gervonta needs to do that. None of those, that's all a bunch of jabberty stuff. It's just a bunch of blah, 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 blah. Once these guys say that they're not, or intimate that they're not interested, then that goes out the window. What's up, Rick Timms? Once Terence Crawford says, once Jermell Charlo says, go fight Jaron Ennis, Jermell Charlo knows full well that Terence Crawford's fighting Errol Spence next. Knows it full well. There's no need to talk about whether or not he's right or wrong for thinking it. Canelo Alvarez said there's nothing in the fight for me. If I beat him, they're going to say I'm too small. I don't care about that fight. He's beaten one guy. Leave me alone. Get this Terence Crawford talk out of my face. This dude was just at 135. What do I care? That's what he's saying. You can say that he's cap or not cap or this or that, but it doesn't matter. That's his stance. The idea of him fighting Gervonta Davis is just ridiculous. And so say, well, Terence could be, man, Terence could get 30 million fighting Gervonta Davis. No, he can't. He can't get a penny fighting Gervonta Davis. Not a penny. Because Gervonta's not going to fight him. So how's he going to make any money? If the man won't fight him, it's not available for him. So the question is, with what's available for you if you beat Errol Spence in the second fight, what's available? The best available option for me as a boxing fan is Jaron Ennis. It's not Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu. Come on, y'all. He said, I felt the same thing. He was doing everything he could to make a point because he said over there on Twitter he was going to smoke me. And all I do is block, and I didn't block you. I didn't mute you. I didn't do any of that. It's a chance Mendoza can upset Tszyu. Yeah, there is. Man, Tim Tszyu is not anybody's established name, bro. Come on, man. Let's just be real. Tim Tszyu is not Ennis in the United States. And yes, Jaron Ennis can do some things to become a bigger name. Yes, he can. But Tim Tszyu got to do the same thing. Brian Mendoza's got to do the same thing. All these guys got to do the same thing. And that's just a fact. Copper Aborigines, what's up, man? Says, salute Martin Blackwell for non-international boxing. Hope all is well with you and the family. Man, everybody's doing well, man. Well, I can't complain. You know, I can't complain. But I did want to just express that that's the kind of the thing that makes me people put you in the back. Because we're not having an honest discussion at that point. Well, I'm just asking you a question. Yeah, I get you're just asking a question. But no, you don't just want to know my opinion. You want to move the conversation over here. I don't want to give my opinion about any and everything that you could possibly have in your mind. Because those are rhetorical questions you're asking me. You're not asking analytical questions, but even if you were, you could ask me, well, hey, what do you think about Gervonta Davis fighting Monster Inoue? My answer is I'm not thinking about that. Boots has a bigger market of the three. He has a much bigger market of the three. I guess he could fight Virgil Ortiz at 154. I guess he could. Which, by the way, I really hope. Oh, said that's great news. We're doing fine up here in Michigan as well. Oh, it's great, man. Good to see. Good to hear that, Copper Aborigines. Always good to hear and know that people are doing well, man. Always good to hear that people are doing well. And I mean that in all honesty. It's very, very good to hear that people are doing well. Very good to hear. Hey, check Jason. What's up, man? Said it's been a while starting a new job in the chemical plant. I need to get caught up. Missed the chat. And hey, thanks, Jason. What's up with you, man? But anyway, we're gonna put a couple more links in here, man. And then we'll put a couple more links in this mug. If y'all want to chop it up. Pushback said, why you bringing what up? Hey, can we get the likes to 600? Where's the likes at? Oh, yeah, get the likes up to 300 first. Hey, man, y'all hit that like button, man, if y'all would not mind. I need somebody to help me spread the I need some help with the algorithm, man. Said we're out here fishing and listening, enjoying every morning. That's what's up, man. Yes, sir. Catch them fish, man. I've been eating a lot of fish lately. I ate hamburgers yesterday, though. Kamal Oz in the building. Thank you, brother. He said Crawford would have to go to Australia as the B-side to make money against Tim Tszyu. The irony in this boxing public is telling Crawford what he is saying about Boots' delusion of grandeur. Look, man, the funny thing is all kind of stuff bouncing back and forth to me. I think there's a whole lot of funny stuff bouncing back and forth to me. How is it okay? Oh, Ray Davidson, Fanon, you missed my comparison to this caller that continues to try to cook. He reminds me of Sarah Huckabee being the Bud Buddy campaign apologist. Well, you're just working from the position that everything it needs to be in Bud's interest. I don't work for Terence Crawford. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to see a fight with him and with he and Jaron Ennis. And I'm going to keep talking about Jaron Ennis. Why not? I have noticed that there's been a lot of technical and analytic people that fabricate their issues and want the chat to agree with them. I wonder why is that? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Give me an example. Shoni Fanan, do you think Bud is too stubborn to drop the belts at 150, 147 belts? No, I don't. I think he'll drop the belts. I think he'd drop it. I don't think he's going to drop them willy-nilly, though, but I think he'll drop the belts, yeah. I don't think his ego's too big for that. I don't really think Terence Crawford's got a gigantic ego. I've never been one to really think that he's got a gigantic ego. I mean, any more than some other people. I think Canelo has a much bigger ego. Hold on one second. No, chicken don't get dang cup of that shit. Paper Chase in the building. What's up? He said Crawford found his confidence after confidence fighting EJ with a massive payday. He's retiring soon, so he's trying to cash out with huge fights. Boots over Bud. Much love, Paper Chase. Yeah, but I'm telling you, I don't think those fights are there. Just like you could say the same thing. You could say the same thing like related to. I think you could say the same thing related to like Gervonta Davis's next fights. They're probably not going to be as big as the Ryan Garcia fight is. Just like Terence, just like Floyd Mayweather had fights after Manny Pacquiao, like Andre Berto that weren't as big as the Manny Pacquiao fight. So just because you get a really, really big fight one time doesn't mean the next fight is going to be a gigantic fight. You know, Floyd Mayweather need oppositions as well. Copper Aborigine say, I hear AJ isn't fighting Deontay now, so that's fight still just lip service. But this Canelo Charlo fight I can't wait. Yeah, I think you're right about that. I don't think Eddie Hearn ever wants to make that fight, man. Eddie Hearn, man, Eddie Hearn is just the worst. He realized how much money he missed out on. I'm telling you, man, but I don't think it's not there for him. It doesn't appeal. It doesn't appear. It really doesn't appear to be there for him. I could be wrong, but it doesn't appear to be there for him. You guys let me know what you think, but it just doesn't appear to be there. And I don't want to be a party pooper on it. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a party pooper, but hey, man. Got to poop on your party, man. Come on, Oz said, beating Benavidez and Morrell, get Bud to Canelo fight. If he does that fight, yeah. But look, he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. Yeah, that's what Boots is the best, man. Look, for real. If he gets past Errol, and I'm not counting Errol Spence out. I'm not counting Errol Spence out. I know there's a lot of people counting out Errol Spence. I'm not counting Errol Spence out. Copper Aborigines. Fanon, Buds and Boots isn't a massive money grab generator, but sure is a hell of a matchup. I love to see it happens. Yeah, I just don't know, Rick Timms, what big fight with Terence Crawford there is. And that's not. He said, don't poop on our fishery OG. What you talking about, man? Why wouldn't Charlo Bud be considered a big fight? Because Charlo says he doesn't want. Charlo acts like he doesn't want the fight. And I don't know when it became that Jermell Charlo was a really big name either. When did this happen? When did Jermell Charlo become this really big name? I must have missed the memo. I know that I've been supporting Jermell Charlo for years, but I heard that the reason that Canelo didn't need to fight him was because they weren't a big draw. How up until recently is Jermell and Jermell Charlo not a big enough draw for Canelo, but now they're the super fight for Terence Crawford. Please explain that to me. I would love to understand. Please explain that to me. I would love to understand that. When did Jermell, with no belts coming off of a loss to Canelo Alvarez, become a big fight? Help me out with that one. Because I don't think that's the case. Big Darryl Ward, you got to ask, first of all, we don't know what it is because Canelo's in the fight. I haven't heard anybody say Canelo versus Charlo is a really big, is a gigantic fight. Have you heard somebody say that? I say it's a good fight. I want to see the fight. I don't think anybody said that that's some big gigantic fight. I don't even know if it's going to do more than it did with Caleb Plant. But Canelo Alvarez is a big fight. I don't even know if you've ever actually heard anybody say that. Have you really heard somebody say that? I don't remember anybody talking about how big that fight is. Matter of fact, I thought it caught everybody by surprise that the fight was even taking place. I've never heard Jermell Charlo or Jermell Charlo being considered a big fight for anybody. I've never heard it. But conveniently, it's a really, really big fight for Terence. I understand Jaron, I understand Gervonta, and I understand Canelo. But at 160 pounds, dude, Jermell Charlo is not coming back down to 168 from 168 to 154 to fight Terence Crawford. Drain all that weight off of him. And allow Terence Crawford to come up in weight. I don't think he's in the I'm doing dumb shit business. Because that's exactly what that is. Exactly what that is. Isn't it? Why would he do that? So now none of the belts are on the line. So it's not like you're going for third undisputed. That's not there for you. You can defend your undisputed title, though. And if you did fight, and if you fight a long layoff Keith Thurman, you're going to look bad. Because when was the last time he fought, man? Hold on one second. Yeah, dude has not fought in a year and a half, man. He's fought one time in the last 3 years. He's fought one time in 3 years. One time in 3 years. Let's repeat. One time in 3 years. He can't take that fight either. That's a bad look fighting a guy that's coming off one time in 3 years instead of Jaron Ennis, that's a bad look. It's a bad look. And you guys say what you want, but I guess I'm a hater. Bud versus Mel at 160 makes the most sense for both. Yeah, but why? Neither one of them have a belt at 160. You might as well be fighting. You might as well try to fight Gennady Golovkin. Might as well fight Gennady Golovkin. Neither Jamel or Crawford are big names or big financial draws. Have both been A-sides on pay-per-views. They flop. Yeah, I mean, that's where the mystery is for me. When did all of this stuff come up? When did it come up? Marcus E. Fanon, shouldn't Charlo drop belts too? He's gonna get stripped from his mandatory. I'm sure he will drop belts soon. He's not going down to 160. If he's not going down to 154, he will drop those belts. Yeah, he should. And here's the thing: it took him 2 fights to get undisputed. So he most definitely defended 3 belts a bunch of times. He took him he's been at 154 his entire career. It's been a long time. It may be time for him to move up to 160. But here's the thing, man. He very well may be Canelo. So, there's that. But that's my take, man. You know what I mean? After Bud beat Spence, then that's when the talk started. Yeah, no, I've been saying it for a long time about Jaron Ennis. I've been wanting to see Jaron Ennis in big fights for a long time. And I'm sorry, man, you're not going to steal my thunder on that. I'm going to do what I got to do. We're going to take one more caller. If y'all don't want to chop it up, then I'm going to biz ounce. And then it's going to be what it is. Bud options are Boots at 147 or move up and fight Tim Tszyu. If he moves up to fight Tim Tszyu, then that's not a good look for me. He has no reason to move out of 147. He's got no reason to move up from 147. None whatsoever. He does not have what's he going to do? Defend at 154? He's going to fight some Fundora. He's going to fight Fundora. Where is that whole thing going to head? What's going on, Thomas Hill? How you feeling, man?
Hey, good morning to you. Good morning to you, my man Martin. Good morning to the chat. Hey, I just got on because of Mersh. Mersh, one of our constant supporters in the chat. He not wrenched up, but he just got hit with a timeout. But he's really, really cool. And he's
Merch is dumb?
No, not Mersh. His name is All Things, all lowercase. He got hit, I think by accident, but he got hit by accident on a timeout. And they were asking if he could be wrenched up because he is here every day and he does support.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I was going to say, it seems like Crawford is getting exempt for a lot of things that they hope other fighters too. That now that he has beat Spence, and I mean, he definitely put on a great performance, no doubt about that. And now he can do anything he wants. Now he's a big money draw. Now he's the fighter that's supposed to look for the money fights and bypass the mandatories or the fights that actually make sense. And that's being held by a lot of people. And, the funny thing is, like, when other fighters who are in that position, who unfortunately have to move like that because the other fights cannot be made, it's a bad thing. And it's just like this dichotomy that goes on and exists in boxing between like your favorite fighter and then fighters in general. It just supersedes reality. And I don't understand why this is the case. I don't understand why my man Crawford should be able to now jump 3 weight classes up or down to fight people because it's a big money fight. You got Boots Ennis right there. You got a rematch with Spence right there. So, a lot of people, now I'm just saying those fanboys, not true fans, because I know there are true fans of Crawford, like Tim Stoudemire and Rick Tams, man, and Chill Veal, that definitely don't move that way. But It's like we gotta hold everybody to the same standard. We can't have exceptions for folks. It's got to be the same for everybody. And I just, it's just like right now we got to get to the boxing. That's just it. We got to get to the boxing. They got to get in the ring and settle in the ring. Like you said, rematch happens, and if Crawford beats him, and if it's in the same fashion, then we can admit, hey, yo, that's just the guy that he can't touch.
It is what
That
it is. I'm with you on it, man.
yeah, it is. It is because I remember I'm a huge Mosley fan, and Vernon Forrest put it on him. And the first time I thought, nah, man, he got hit with that headbutt and he wasn't the same. But then he did it the second time. It wasn't in the same fashion, but he still got the dub. So at some point, I gotta admit that, hey, that's his kryptonite. You know, he can beat a lot of people, but this dude, he just can't seem to get over it. Roy Jones and Antonio Tarver. Antonio Tarver knew with all the surety, man, I've been beating you all along, and I'm gonna beat you again. Man, he went out there and proved it. So, you know, I don't have a problem because I like boxing more so than I like fighters. I just rock with certain people because I like the way that they hold themselves. And I think that a lot of people who criticize certain fighters, they criticize the people who they hold the same values as they do, the ones that they said that they look to see in people. And it because they rock with somebody else who don't hold these values, they'll sit there and hate on them or throw shade on them. And I don't believe that we, especially with our people that look like us, that get this on a regular basis, should be throwing shade or hate on anybody. So, you know, I just came to say that too. And also to see, because I don't know if Terry Smoot's in there. I was going to ask him, but see if we can get all things wrenched up if possible.
Who?
All things. It's all one word.
I already did it.
Put it in. Oh, you already did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so very much. And thank you for allowing me to come up here for now.
Man, anytime, brother. It's always good to speak to you, man. It's always good.
Oh man, this is part of my morning fix. I gotta get this every day. It make me right. I be dealing with nonsense, bro. And then I put you on and then I feel good.
All right, that's what's up, man. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, then, my good brother.
Yes, sir. Tune, how can I help you?
Hey, what's going on, man? Good morning.
Good morning, man. You breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Yeah, I was just I ain't been on in a while. I know I've been meaning to cop on like a few times, but I ain't really had a chance. I just wanted to dive in on this on Bud. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to dive in on this Bud topic. I think Bud has I think he's in a position in his career where, you know, he can chase the big money fights, right? You know, he's older. He's kind of put in all the work. I think he deserves that, being able to cherry pick or pick his fights. I don't have no problem with him doing that. You know, he put on a great performance in his last fight with Errol Spence. They're doing a rematch. I think if he chases Canelo, or, you know, whatever other big money fight is out there, if there is another one, I don't really have an issue with that. I don't think people should really have any type of problem with him trying to end his career with the big money. That's really all I wanted to come in and say, state my opinion and comment on that.
I mean, that's fair, but if he can't get him, then he got to do something.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think if he exhausts all his options first and then, you know, double back and see what's out there. But I think I think he should be able to chase them big money fights, and, you know, I think he deserved that. I think he earned that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's fair. All right, brother, I appreciate you, Tune. Thank you for coming on, man.
All right, I appreciate you, man. Have a good morning.
All right, man. You as well, sir. What's going on, Ashley's Corner in the building? What's going on, sister? And hey, what's going on? Get it, J-Town said Undisputed is for one weight class, fight Boots. Yeah, I say fight Boots. I want to see the Boots fight. Much love, brother. Thank you so much, Mr. Burton, for that support, man. It means a lot. Thank you. But look, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. This morning, we gonna get out here in 2.5 hours today. We're gonna go a little bit less this week. Let my voice save up. Store my voice up for a little while. Man, thank y'all so much for y'all continued support for the channel. We'll be back tomorrow. At the same time, same bat time, same bat channel, 8 a.m. in the morning. Let me look through these fights real quick. Don't know what we got coming up. Hold on one second. Look again, make sure I know what's going on this weekend. Dang, nothing really, man. Joyce and Zhang is coming up in a couple weeks. That's probably the first one. And then Hitchens and Zapata that same day. And then Canelo, obviously Canelo Charlo. Yeah, that's the stuff. But anyway, man, let me get up out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. Thank you guys so much for your support. It means a lot. And with that, I'm out. Deuce. Say enjoy your day, big bro. For now. Thank you, Sky. Yeah, I will. Thank you. Peace.